Shaky, you wanted me to go live. I don't know why. There's not much to talk about. If you want to come up here and talk, let me know. I just barely got home. But there's not really anything to talk about anymore. I'm kind of done with TikTok. What do you want to talk about? Oh, yes, he does. Oh, Shaky, it's not letting, but there's not really anything to talk about. I'm kind of done with TikTok.
Let's talk about the law. I'm watching court TV. What does self-defense mean? What does self-defense mean in reality?
Hold on, Shaky, real quick. I want to talk to you, Dana, before everybody gets here. Yeah. I just want to say, the way you handled yourself yesterday, I thought it was good.
Okay, good. Like, I'm getting a lot of people that have been coming.
No, for somebody, and this is hard for me to say, because but I thought that you did a really good job yesterday.
Yeah, okay, thanks.
I think that, like, you were doing your best to be neutral. I really do feel like that. I'm not lying to you.
Okay.
But I also want you to I'm gonna say this. I want you to, like, really think about, for as long as you've known me, and the consistency that comes with me.
Yeah.
And how I treat you. I may not like you, or I may not like the things that you do, but I still have a certain after all this time, I feel like I've never outright disrespected you or anything like that. Have I?
I don't think you have either.
Okay, I'm just making sure. Between us, right? I'm just making sure.
I honestly, if you know me, I'll crash out.
Yeah. Don't know what I'm saying?
I'm
just making sure, right?
Person, Malika, if I pissed you off.
And I'm not either, but, like, I'm just saying, like, with the disagreements we've had, we've never just outright disrespected each other.
Right, exactly.
And I
think it's okay to get into it. Growing up, like, I grew up with 6 sisters and, like, a family of 9. Like, we would cuss and get into it, you know what I mean? But, like, I think it's okay to, like, have a little lively back and forth, you know what I mean?
That's your family, okay? Yeah. Your family can do that. I'm not saying anything besides watch how people speak to you, okay? And I mean that. Okay? I'm gonna drop, because, like I said, I just talked to you before, people came up here, but I just wanted to say, just think about that and watch, and just reflect on how people talk to you when you're trying to stand up for yourself.
Yeah, it was kind of a stressful thing. Yeah, but I've gotten a lot of people coming at me today.
I just want to say, I personally think you did a good job. And you know me, I wouldn't say that shit if I didn't mean it.
Dana being the rational one. Dana, what medications have they given you, honey?
Seriously, like, Dana was being very rational, and, like, I just wanted to say, like, I really appreciated that. You were doing a good job. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and lie.
Yeah.
Like I said, I don't like how Miss Passion. I'm not getting into that one. I don't, like I said, I think I don't like what happened yesterday. I made that clear.
Yeah.
As far as, like, how you responded to that.
Yeah.
But as far as, like, the panel and, like,
I do. Yeah.
I think you came far. I think you've came far.
Yeah. No, Dana's Dana. I like Dana. Dana and I are, like, frenemies. She's like an evil Mormon from Utah. She has her problems, but I mean, who doesn't? At least Dana's real.
I mean, like, honestly, yesterday I kind of went into, like, my teaching mode, because, like, people, like, I'm at the end of the day, I'm like a Gemini. Like, I have 2 personalities. I don't, like, in my normal life, crash out like this. I'm not crazy. Like, I know how to carry myself.
Miss Passion, I would not lie to Dana. Dana will be the first person to tell you I won't lie to her. Like, Dana knows how I feel at all times. I've known Dana for a long time. Her and I go all the way back to, back when Dana used to be an evil Mormon.
I think you've come far. That's all I'm gonna say. But I know, also, Dana, I know you're not dumb, so I know you
Yeah.
understand what I'm saying to you when I
Yeah.
say, watch how people speak
No,
to
no, I
you
get what you're
when they're on
saying.
that. Okay, there we
Because
go.
yeah, I know what you mean. Because like
Yeah,
true friends know that when things are stressful, not to like, you know what I mean? Like
exactly. But I'm
they
gonna
just
drop
know
the.
to
I
sort of
just wanted
like
to tell you
they
that.
understand dynamics and like, you know,
Exactly.
like when to say.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm not. I get what you mean.
Like, I know you're not dumb.
Yeah,
I got you. I'm gonna
like
drop
I'm
though.
pretty good at reading situations and like,
You don't know that
like,
Dana orchestrated all the mess, Malika?
nah, I promise.
I've known Dana for long enough to know this. Dana and I went in the back end and we had a conversation. We said, how can we make this happen?
I want to see what it is. Yeah, no, I don't even like. Honestly, I feel kind of shitty about myself when I like host messy lives. It's kind of like when you eat junk food. You know what I mean?
Dana,
Good,
shut
because you
up.
get
You
on my
love the
damn nerve.
mess.
I
What do
doing
I
this to
do?
stop like demeaning
I
men,
feel
being
you, Dana. I
messy.
feel
Like
you on that. I feel you.
when it comes, but when you interact with people on a daily basis, and
Yeah.
we've known each other for as long as we have, like when we
Mhm.
have conversations, things are going to come up. Disagreements are
Yeah.
going to happen.
Exactly.
If we stop calling it mess and just calling it what it is, conversation that just happens when
Yeah.
people are interacting with each other,
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
it wouldn't be this big of a deal. But y'all but people try to attach this like, oh, you're being messy,
Yeah. Yeah.
when when in reality, you know that if somebody was messing with you, you would want to stand up for yourself too.
Well,
Yeah. Exactly.
I think that's the difference. Some of the stuff are conversations, but they're being labeled as mess, and some of the mess is just mess. And
I
I
think
think
there are things to be learned from some of these conversations. There are deeper, bigger issues that can be discussed.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that.
Dana, get on my damn nerve.
You don't
why?
like me, Devin. I don't know why. You always will pick it on me. But that's fine. I'll be okay. I'm the one who has to pay. I want to see what Ed has to say.
I didn't like that. I'm gonna be honest with you, Dana. I did not like the way you were talked to. I'll say that much. I think you didn't deserve that. That much. I'm gonna be honest about. At the end of the day, if you're hosting a space and you just ask people to respect the space, then yeah, that was disrespectful towards you. I can acknowledge that, and you can say, "Oh, it's between me and this person." But if other people are witnessing it, it's okay for you to not be okay with it.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, I know, and this is part of the teacher in me. I know that when people are like upset, like when you're angry, people say things just out of emotion. You know what I mean? Like, and so I try to like
You also
not react
teach
to that.
children, okay?
Yeah.
We're not children. We're
No, I know.
adults. We're grown people.
No, I know, but I think the same concepts. And this is kind of my thing. I think that all adults are just kind of like junior. We never really get past the junior.
I
Now I
disagree.
want to know
I'm
what
not
the
gonna
hell
lie.
happened.
I can kind of agree with that. Like, I feel like some people are forever
Like
children.
sometimes I just want to stomp my foot and just like you just want to kind of like.
Now I want to know what happened. How about that?
You about to find out.
Well, I think
Oh,
people just
shit.
were. I think a lot of things were
Why you
said.
gonna sit me next to Bell?
Some people need to
This
be
is
explained like a
racist. I ain't
5-year-old
got real
sometimes. Though.
racist.
Yes,
A lot of
just
people were-
sometimes, Michael. Just
I think a lot of people were yelling yesterday, and a lot of anger and a lot of negative, unnecessary comments were directed at Dana that she didn't deserve in particular. Not saying y'all can't cuss Dana out. Please do. I mean, she is an evil Mormon after all, but in that case, I will say that was unwarranted. And even I feel like I, to a degree, contributed to.
Wow.
Oh, so y'all ain't gonna tell me what happened, huh?
They were calling Dana out her goddamn name.
Dana, or Strawberry, you did all that to dig your own hole. Crazy.
No, I didn't. The thing is, I've never called Dana out of her name.
I'm telling
Like,
you, in
no,
5
Dana's known me
minutes,
for a
you will
long ass
know.
time. I've told Dana she's a crazy ass bitch, but not in like a, oh my god, I'm gonna say it and just like fucking talk insane to her. No,
Damn,
No,
it's the
but
first
Dana's
time I
tough.
agree
She's
with
not gonna let
you.
that. She's not gonna let that bother her. She's tough.
it doesn't matter.
Who
That
said
shit
what
that shit compacts.
to who? And what
No,
were
but
the
I think
reactions?
I mean, but okay. So the way I look at things, though, and I don't know if this is just me being a little too lenient. I know I have a very bad temper, and I know I've said shit that I've been mean to people, and I've been really angry with people, and I have said things to people that I don't mean when I'm in the heat of a moment. So I try to give other people the benefit of the doubt, and that's just I don't because I just when you're pissed off and you feel like everybody's coming at you. I think that's just I don't know. Like I don't. Maybe that makes me a bad person. I don't know.
Oh, so y'all seriously not gonna tell me, huh?
No, it was
Who
just a
said
whole bunch
what?
of drama.
I
to
think there's a
who,
What?
limit to how understanding
and
you
what
could
were the
be.
Michael's
reactions?
always on
Wait,
my
Dana,
case.
are you the type to
Because
apologize after you recognize, like, yo, I fucked up, like, I'm sorry?
wait, what?
Are you the type to apologize? You know, when you, because
I
She
me,
only
is.
apologize.
because me, I'm,
Well,
I'm kind of like you too. Like, yo,
She
like sometimes
definitely
I'll like
is.
spaz out. I said crazy shit
I'm trying to
before, good
think. I've
meaning.
only apologized to like 3 people on this app, to be honest. Because like some of the time I don't exactly feel bad. I'm trying to think. I don't know.
No, I feel that though. I
But
feel,
no, I'm not talking about on the app, but like to my people that I care about,
no,
the
I'm telling
people
you,
that I
no, I
really
know
care
that.
about, like I feel sick to my stomach when I say mean things.
Dana,
Like I used
you
to,
do apologize. Are you fucking kidding me? We used to go back and forth, you and me, and we used to talk crazy, and we would apologize to each other, and then I would go back to calling you an unhinged Mormon, and then you would say shit to me back, and then it would be
yes.
fine. So yeah, you do
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong
apologize.
with
I've seen you
apologizing,
apologize.
especially if you mean that shit. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I didn't even want to do all this Dana praising. I was just trying to tell her that I think she did a
Yeah,
good
I'm trying
job
to figure out what's
yesterday.
No,
going on.
Dana needs a little
Dana,
love. She
who
Like,
gets
said
let's
X so
what
many strays.
to
I
let's
who,
don't
cut
like,
it.
yeah, and I
and
don't
what were
need
the
that. And I don't like when
reactions?
people praise it.
Let's
Who
This is
cut it.
something
said,
else.
Let's
am,
cut
Like
it,
am,
when
can
people
okay?
like
anybody
say
hear
good
me?
things about me, I feel weird. I'd rather people
Who
listen.
said what to who, and what were the reactions? Let's start there.
One of Dana mods yesterday disrespected her. That's pretty much it.
Basically, yeah.
I don't want
Yeah.
to say the name because that person has
But I'll be all
allegations
right. I mean,
against
I
Oh,
me.
y'all
just,
So
at
scared?
the end of the
Oh,
day,
y'all
though, I'm
scared to
just
say the
not the
name?
kind of person who carries
Hold on,
grudges. I
Dana,
just
send me
don't.
your mod list so I can figure out who it was.
No,
Was hold on. Was it a maggot or was it a reasonable person?
it was a
Mm,
maggot.
Oh
I
yeah, well
just am worried about
that's.
what Michael's
I
saying
think you
about me
should
in these
take
comments.
Theodore's, take his mods. Let me see who else is in here.
No, can
Take
we not
his
do
because
this?
he ain't shit. Who
Can we
else?
not do this? I don't want to do this. Can we?
to be fair, someone was crashing out, and they were
Okay.
crashing out heavy, and they say a lot of things when they get angry, and that's the kind of temperament that that person has. Now, does that justify what was said to Dana? No. If Dana is willing to overlook it, then that's completely fine. But as long as she knows that it's not okay, because no one should think that that kind of language is
Well,
okay towards somebody.
if she
That's it.
overlook it, it's okay. What the
Yeah.
hell? Those things are synonymous, sis.
Well, if she's gonna overlook it and she's gonna say, "Okay, I want to move on from it," then we have to respect that she's gonna move on from it.
Yeah, I probably am just going to move on. Because
But
I
it's
just,
okay for people to tell you that, hey, that's wrong because you should never normalize that kind of behavior towards yourself. No one should.
And that's all I came up here to say.
yes, I definitely just,
Dana
yeah.
said, I'm gonna normalize that punishment. Matter of fact, I
Yeah,
prefer it.
but I'm just worried that what Michael thinks that I always say really mean things to people. Like I don't like people that'll call me. Do I really? Like
No,
Yeah,
I
you're
didn't.
kind of a
I didn't
bitch.
say that. I
yeah,
didn't
you
say
did. You
you
said
always say.
always.
No, I didn't say.
Yeah,
No,
you're.
I said no. I said your ass don't apologize.
I
I didn't say
have
you
Because that's what
Well,
you
yeah,
always.
I'm
apologized
said.
to a
with
few
Mike.
people on this app.
Because
No,
I remember
listen.
you saying that you don't apologize. Like I don't apologize for what I did. The
Yeah, I
only
don't
thing I
pay.
ever
I
heard you
said it. I said
apologize
it.
for is racism. Like back in the
Yeah.
day, way back, like 3 years ago, like some
Wait,
shit
what did
that,
I do?
like when you said some shit that was kind of like microaggressive and shit like that. That's the only thing I've ever
What
heard you apologize for. Everything
I
else,
don't know.
you be 10 toes down on that bullshit. I'd be like, oh shit, Dana's standing
No, I
ten
mean there
toes down
have
on
been a
that
few
shit.
people that I really like on this app that have been like really good to me, and I once crashed out on this person, and I did apologize, and I just know that this person didn't deserve it,
You
and
you crashed out on
That's
me
the
a couple
honorable way to
but
go.
times.
you deserved it.
I've never deserved you crashing out on me.
Are you kidding me?
Never.
You deserve
I've never.
every crash out in my
Dana.
life.
See,
Every.
it's not a crash out. You try to anticipate. But you know what, Dana? I'm gonna tell you this
Yeah.
about you.
Mhm.
And this is how I'll tell you about you. Well, first of all, once somebody piss you off, you're gonna crash out and you ain't gonna let the fuck up.
Mhm.
You're not gonna let up. And the next time you say it, you're gonna say, I said what I said, and you're gonna do that little microaggression. You know, when you talk really low and you really mean that shit. So you want to talk like this when you say shut the fuck up. You know, when you do that shit. Everybody knows
Yeah.
that about Dana. You'll be up here, then you drop it down, and that's when you get your little subs in. Shut the fuck up, you fat bitch. When you say it low like that, you do that all the time.
Yeah.
Shut the fuck up, you fat bitch.
Yeah, she'll say it
You're such a
low like
fat
she didn't. Yeah,
loser. I fucking
yeah.
hate you.
Now,
Like,
well,
It's
it's
here's the
usually
thing.
Yes, and
when
thank you for the
it's usually
gift.
when the
Wow.
facts aren't aligning with your argument. That's when you get
Yeah,
really
That's when I
disturbed. I'm
crash
like,
out.
oh
And
shit.
but
then
but with
my
that
arguments
being
are
said,
synonymous.
you will push back, no matter what the topic is, no matter who's saying whatever. You'll push back. You're consistent with that shit. But there's certain subjects you don't like nobody touching you. Like, do not touch me there, or I'm gonna fucking come unhinged and I'm going to go. I am not going that, when you do that, when that not come that hard, when you like I don't know what's bigger than all caps, but whatever all caps, when you say, I am not gonna let you sit here and you go off, it's over with after that. It's
Yeah.
over with. And then you can come back the next day and smile like you're smiling like that shit didn't happen.
No, right, because I am the type, because me, like, I've always been the kind of person, and I think that I just, every day is a new start with me. Like, I try not to carry grudges, except with a few people. I just don't. I mean, if I don't like somebody, I don't like it. But, like, if somebody that I care about and I get mad at them and stuff, and, like, they do something to me, I try very hard just to forgive and move on. It's too much energy to carry a grudge for me.
Yeah.
I don't do that. I just don't.
I'm not gonna talk to you guys anymore, okay? I'm leaving the live. Fuck you, Bex. Oh my god. I love your accent.
Yeah. But, yeah. What's going on in the news today, anyways? Anything
I don't know.
crazy?
I just came up to let you know that you can be evil sometimes, but you're still cool. Hey, I got a picture to send you though.
What?
I'll send it to you directly. I won't put it. I'll send it to you directly.
What is one of your freaking AI pictures of me? I don't know if I can put up with this shit anymore. Oh, let's see this. I think there was a Ed. I don't think Ed. That isn't what I said. I said something on the live that pissed Ed off. But what I specifically said, and I know you were gonna. Ed, was it that bad? What I
Exactly
said?
what you said. I'm not sure if I'm safe up here.
You're not.
Okay. No. So here, I'll tell you what I said, and I know Devin's gonna agree with me, and probably everybody up here is gonna agree with me.
Oh,
What I
wonder
said
why.
was, I said, if you want to, and this was me being pissed when I said it, because Bleach was coming at me, and I said, if you are not allowed to attack people for being black or gay on my panel, but somebody has a right to attack you for being white. And I explained why, and I said, oh, because white people aren't really punched down on in society. But with that, why don't you agree with me on that, Ed?
Why do I think that I should be able to be attacked for my immutable features, but no one else can?
I mean, like, but you know me, I'll attack somebody for being fat or all types of things.
Do you let your students of color attack your white students for being white?
No.
Don't let him
Definitely
shift your
not.
position. He can
Definitely
faster
not.
as fuck.
But
I'm
that's
just
not
checking.
definitely. I mean, no.
I don't care if anybody
But I don't
attacks
let
me.
them attack them for. I don't let them demean each
I
other.
drive
at all.
across the Delaware Memorial Bridge, smack you upside
Who
the
makes fun
damn
of somebody for being white though? Like, that's not the same thing as like making fun of somebody for other things.
I attack Ed from being from Kansas, so yeah, there you go.
I feel like that's more offensive.
I'm from New Jersey. I lived in Kansas.
Oh, sorry to hear.
Okay, well, either or. Kansas. It's something about Kansas.
He's from Jersey, but he acts like he's
Wait, you
from
have a
Kansas.
Garmin?
Who, me?
Dana, you have a Garmin?
I do, but I'm not wearing it right now.
Oh my god, which one?
I don't know. To be honest, it's an old one that somebody gave me. I just use it to show.
Russian too, so yeah,
Oh
and
my
that too.
God.
It's a principle thing for me because honestly, if someone attacked me for being white and they were black, I wouldn't even come at them for being black. That wouldn't be my first instinct.
Yeah.
But who's ever attacked you for being white though?
Yeah, y'all come up with these
You hear
fantasies.
it.
I mean,
Yeah,
people
no,
do
no, no.
come up and say, "Oh, people do thought you
They
white."
do.
No. Once you start,
gaslight me like you've never seen
No.
a Darnell
See,
live
what you
before.
guys do is you guys
Devin
start
does do that.
exhibiting. You start exhibiting racism, so then we attack your whiteness, and you see our defense as an attack. That's what the fucking problem is with you white motherfuckers.
But
I ain't
also,
gonna lie.
even in the rebuttal, the person is acknowledging that the white person, because of their whiteness, is put in a position of privilege while insulting them. Right? It's like, the best way I can explain it is that there's like this neighborhood out in Minnesota, or like this like area, and everybody in the whole entire state calls those people cake eaters. Yes, cake eater is an insult, but they're calling them cake eaters because they're wealthy. So is that really an insult? Not really.
I don't think so. Yeah.
Not just that, y'all are fixated on race. Like, do you think that black people came to the country saying, "Hey, let's focus on race"? Or did white people say, let's divide based on race? And then you want to hold us accountable for this shit. See, Ed, this is what I'm saying. You be having some bad takes. You be getting on my motherfucking nerves
No,
sometimes.
but I think Ed
I've
does
said
make a
10
decent.
words since I've been up here.
And that's all it
And
took. That's
honestly,
all it
what it
took.
Let Ed
is,
If you'd
talk,
have said
please.
9.
I want it, but I
right,
do
right,
want to hear
right.
Ed's perspective because I asked him. Because I
At the
do
end of
think
the
Ed tries
day,
to.
what it is about intent. So even if, like, you know, I'm too privileged to actually be insulted by these words that they're saying. The intent is still to insult, and the way you go about that is to insult something that you know that there's no direct recourse for. It doesn't matter what the cause of the initial insult was. It doesn't matter if it's because I was the aggressor or you just pulled it out of thin air and said, this is what I want to talk about today to piss this person off. We know what your intent is. And the fact of the matter is, I get kneecapped when it comes
How do
to
you
a
know my
rebuttal on
intent?
it.
How do you know my intent, Ed?
Because
See, this is what I'm
first
saying
of
about
all,
you motherfuckers, man. Like, what
we're
the
talking
fuck
about a
makes y'all think?
hypothetical. No, yeah, because we're talking about a hypothetical
No,
where the intent is already known. The intent is to
no,
be an
you're.
insult. We're talking about the literal thesis of this is what's happening when a person is attacked for being white.
What? No, we're talking about a common occurrence. You guys come up on a panel, start being microaggressive and fucking racist, and then you get upset when a motherfucker fire back. That's what happens. And now you're repackaging the common experience
Right.
and turning it into some other shit. Cut your shit, Ed.
Wait,
Yeah, I
Devin, have
just
you
don't.
ever, and I need you to be honest, have you ever heard somebody just out without there being a microaggression go after somebody or make like a comment about somebody being white? Just
Yeah.
on this app
No,
call.
because
Like,
we ain't
Yes,
focused
of
on that
course.
shit.
oh, like
We
you're,
no, I
yeah.
haven't seen
I,
it.
not
Like, I
you.
don't
I
give a
don't think
fuck
you
about a
have.
white. I
Oh,
mean, who
I have made
cares?
fun of their ethnicities, like white ethnicities, but
Yeah.
that's different than race.
Hey, Danny.
Hey Dana, how are you?
I'm good.
But
How are
Nick up
you?
here, hey, I don't want Nick to be up here being
Hi.
racist. Okay, I'm just saying. Okay.
I just don't think black people are walking around their neighborhoods just fixated on white people and race.
Nobody does that.
I think it's the
Yeah, I
other
don't
way
think anyone
around.
does.
If you look at well, no, somebody does it because the president of the United States right now is gerrymandering in all the southern states. He fired 400,000 black women. You understand? Took
See,
DEI
We
out.
were
He's
talking about, hang on just a minute. I want to fill
discounting
Danny in.
Juneteenth. Like, if you don't see that as a perseveration on race, then you're just an idiot
Danny, the
and you're
original
extraordinarily
question
dumb.
was, hold up, Devin. The original question was like, um, is it okay to allow people, is it okay to have a rule that you can't make, like on my panel, you can't make microaggressions against somebody for being black or gay, but to allow it for a micro, like a derogatory comment about somebody because they're white. That was kind of the question. Or
But
should it
there's
just be
no,
off limits, like total no talk about race? I
there's no,
guess.
no, I
there's no
think
derogatory
nothing
comment
should be
towards
off
white
limits. I
people.
don't think there should. Oh,
So
sorry,
you think I
sweetheart.
should allow people to say the
Sorry.
N word on my panel? Devin?
No,
Hell no.
no, that's against TOS, and that's being
But I should
objectively
allow people to make like
racist for the
really
sake
like
of being racist.
microaggressions and like say
But I'm
that.
saying, like, if we're just going to speak in stereotypes to try to like piss each other off and roast
Yeah.
each other, that's fine. It's different from saying an outright slur.
Exclusively being white, right? It's always white and something. Like there's a added something to it. It's like, oh,
I
you're a
get it.
white woman crying,
Right. With
white women
kids, white
buying.
and handsome. With other people, it's being white women. I get it. I understand.
Well, okay, you just had to say the handsome part. Let's relax. Let's relax. No, but I definitely think that you can insult somebody on the basis of their ethnicity, and there are white ethnicities, like ethnic groups that are
Robert,
labeled
I'm
as
not
white.
pure performance. This is stuff that I actually think
Why
about.
would you even engage with him? He's an
Well, I mean,
NPC.
for example, I called
He
Nick
means
an
nothing. It's a
anti-Polish
fake, a
slur.
phony, a
I
fraud.
will admit to that.
I'm the only one being completely honest here.
Wait, I'm not being honest? How am I not being honest, Ed? I want to try to be honest. No, so what I would
Well, I
say
would
is,
say that, like, if you were being completely honest, you would say that your take on this comes from a place of guilt. It doesn't. It comes from a place of
This
being
motherfucker.
force-fed a narrative that you think, yeah, that's right. This is the right thing to do,
What are you,
and
the
it's
prophet of the
condescending.
Lord?
Okay, but let me just give you a logical explanation. Okay, like let me just think, and I'm gonna go back to like teaching. If there's a kid in your class, let's just say there's a student in a class that has a disability, and the other kids make fun of that kid for that specific disability. That kid is already facing a lot of societal pushback and a lot of like expectations and a lot of stress because of that disability, right? That nothing that this kid has control over, right? It's right, all that. We can acknowledge that's bad. I think we can all acknowledge that that's bad. But but would be like making a blonde joke, like, oh, you're just blonde and ditzy. Is that just as bad? No, it's not. Because blonde people aren't facing, right? And this is kind of dumbing it down.
So you're asking me when I say,
Shut up, Robert.
when I say you're being condescending, and then you compare black people to mentally handicapped people and white people.
No,
to
I'm
blind
not
people.
comparing them. No, that wasn't. Because first of all, I
All
did
right,
say
sorry.
mentally handicapped.
She
and
was
you're
using a
misconstruing what
marginalized
I
group
said.
of people.
I said somebody with a disability. I personally don't think anybody with a disability is less than. I do not allow myself to think that about my students. And I didn't say mental handicapped. I didn't say that. And now you're being disingenuous, Robert. But my bigger point, I wasn't comparing black people. My
No,
bigger
he's
point, if you would have
serious.
listened, you're cutting out, and I want to finish making my point. But Robert, my bigger point was society as a whole is telling the one person that they are less than. But society isn't necessarily telling blondes that they're less than. Society is kind of like blonde is sort of like, at least in Utah, blonde is sort of like what everybody wants to be.
Oh, that's everywhere. Nobody's ever been disadvantaged on the basis of their blondness.
Yeah. I mean, I hate
That's
blonde.
that linear, primitive thought that he's exhibiting in real time.
No, but Ed, will you respond to what I said? Now, will you respond to what I actually said? Because you were trying to make me construe me as being something I wasn't.
Oh, no, I thought you were talking to Robert because you were calling me Robert. I guess you were just looking at Robert and talking to me. I apologize.
Dana, can I have a large screen, please?
No, I'm asking. No, because you said that. No, will you acknowledge what I said? Like, do you get my point?
Well, I understand where you're coming from. I just flatly disagree. Like, I reject the premise. Like I said, I think your idea of where this is coming from, particularly in the modern day, because I do think that there is a loud, vibrant group of actual racist people that are racist just for the sake of it. And if you want to shout them down, knock yourself out. Fair enough. But I think that you're just ascribing all of that to white people because of some societal build that you see or have been told is
and so if I'm being 100% honest with you, I wasn't being 100% honest before. You're right, because if I'm being 100% honest with you, I don't like the insults in regards to race at all. They make me feel uncomfortable. I don't like them, period. But I do think, and this is me being very honest with you, because I don't like when people come up and do like the white, like you're Queen Cricket or all that shit. I mean, it doesn't really bother. It just sort of makes me feel weird. But
yeah, no, me too. I think it's
right.
incredibly.
But I also think it's worse to attack somebody for being gay or black than for being white. And kind of just because of what I said, because of the way society is punching down on those specific groups. Does that make sense? Yeah, you can.
I agree.
Please don't get messy, Theo. I don't want to get
That's
too
where-
messy today. Don't want.
If that's where you're at, that's where you're at. And I'm going to respect the rules of your live.
Diana,
I'm
you're
not gonna-
next. Did you want
I'm not
to
gonna
do?
push it. And I was, even if those weren't your rules, I like I said, I have no interest in that. I have no interest in attacking people because of their race. I just think it's really weird. I think it's a weird stance.
Yeah.
Can I just want to play two
Diana is next.
regarding
And you're cutting out. Oh,
me?
Somebody's
It's
trying
not
to talk.
cutting out. That's that cricket phone. That speaker broke.
Let Diana
Go get a
talk
new
real
phone
quick.
and come back, Theodore.
What? Why is Danny going?
Oh,
did you have your hand up?
she wants to speak. She wants to speak.
I was about to show two clips.
Oh, let Diana go real quick. Then I'll let you show your clips. Just for the sake of it. I'm not trying to just. Don't make. Okay, go ahead. Don't be offended. Right? Go ahead.
So I wanted to just clarify, like, what people believe microaggressions to be, because microaggressions isn't like shade, right? Shade, you can throw shade on anybody for any reason in any way, shape, or form. But microaggressions are specifically directed at marginalized groups. White people are not marginalized, right? So, like, white people can be insulted, but it's not a microaggression. And I
Right.
think it's,
I don't want to cut you off too quick, but
except you did.
I'm
But
Don't
like
okay.
cut
no,
her
but
off then.
I'm super aware of the
Except you
Mute
did.
concept of
him, Theodore.
microaggressions.
Okay.
But except you
Ed,
did.
we aren't muting Ed. Ed is very respectful, and we aren't just trying to. I don't want this to turn into like a confrontation or anything. Okay, go ahead, Danny. Go ahead.
No, but that's literally the difference. And if people, I think verbiage is really important, especially if you're going to have discussions around race and conversations dealing with racial issues. It's important that we don't just call anything that is said to anyone a microaggression, because that is not. It doesn't meet the definition of it. And I think it's really, really important that we understand that there's a difference between stereotypes and saying things to people and a microaggression, because they are not the same. White people are not marginalized.
And overt insults, because I say that shit. It ain't no micro damn thing.
Is she?
Ed,
Are
did you want to
done?
respond, or Theo? Are you ready to show your clip?
Yep.
Okay. Let's see. I kind of want to
I'm
respond to it.
confused because I didn't bring up microaggressions. Everyone else did. Like I never once said like I was being microaggressed against. I understand the concept of microaggressions. It's another thing that comes from the intellectual sphere of like what would you call that?
Anyways,
Yeah, go ahead.
there was a falsehood about like the term cake eater. It's clearly associated with Caucasian. So I'm going to play these two clips from Disney's classic film, The Mighty Ducks. Take a look.
Say welcome, cake eater.
The African American is referring it to cake eater to the Caucasian person. Second clip.
Hey, cake eater, you want to play some real hockey?
The same African American kid is calling the Caucasian person cake eater. Clearly, the term has connotations with Caucasians, especially since the phrase originated in France during the Napoleonic Wars. So I don't know why we're saying it's just about rich people.
Look at those kids, Theodore. They kind
Yo,
of look
you
rich.
got the
They look
worst takes
rich.
ever, man. You
Just
you pulled
saying.
up a fucking kids movie to prove a
Ju-
scientific point.
But they
So
look
just
rich.
so
Like
just because
you're trying to
so just
explain the
because
sociological.
so just because one group of people may feel disfranchised or discriminated against, that's not an excuse to do it to other groups of people. And that's also coming from Dr. W.B. Du Bois. Like, why would you, in turn, give the same disregard to other groups of people based on skin color just because people are doing it to you? Why would you perpetuate that? That comes from Dr. W.B. Du Bois. Now, if you all have a better response to Dr. B. Du Bois, the first African American who graduated from Harvard with a PhD, I'd love to hear that.
Let me be clear. If you punch me in my face, I'm punching you in yours. You call me a name, I'm gonna call you one back. I don't take the high road.
But
Fuck
that's not what this was
be the
about,
voice of
Kevin. You're
everybody else.
deflecting because that wasn't what this was about.
No, because that's what he brought up. Because we're responding to racism.
Oh.
And he's saying that we shouldn't implement
No,
our
that
own
isn't.
version.
We won't talking about just the response. That wasn't what the
that's
convo was about.
not
No,
at
Kevin,
that's
what
what
are you
it
doing?
is.
That
it
isn't what the
is.
conversation was about.
I've
Right,
never
no,
seen
but that
somebody
is
just come up
Oh,
on a
but now you're
panel
just
and
changing
just
it.
start
No, that isn't
attacking.
what the convo was about. The convo was out of the blue. What is wrong?
That's what they do.
A
That's what
microaggression
they
against
do.
white people or black people. That was the question.
right. Because when I came up here,
Wasn't
I
about
was
response.
I was
Oh.
razzing Dana about her view on what you're able to say to white people opposed to black people. And that was the concept of the conversation. What is that okay? And then you said, well, black people don't even do that unless they're racist. You're the one who put that, unless they're being attacked in a racist manner. You're the one that added that thread into it. No one agreed to it but you.
Yeah, because I don't
I
think
don't
that y'all
have to
understand.
rebuttal that.
What? What Dana said that she doesn't like to allow white people to trade barbs with black people based on race, to do say racist shit.
Right.
because she believes that they're marginalized.
I
All I'm
don't like
saying
the
to you,
other either. I don't like the other either.
right? I get it, I get
I
it,
don't like the other either.
but what he's speaking to, what Theodore just showed, was he's basically saying that we shouldn't respond to racism in that way. He's like saying turn
Nobody
the other
said
cheek.
that at
That
all.
That isn't what he
is the
said,
impact
though.
of what you just showed.
Oh, he's
Is
twisting
anybody
words.
tracking?
Oh, he's twisting words again.
You did, because you said W.B. Du Bois said, "Don't do that." That's what you said.
Yeah, you're conflating like multiple things together. Do you want me to
No,
clarify for
you
you, Devin?
conflated them. You brought up the
Devin,
movie, and
let
then
him
you.
respond. Devin, please let him respond.
So, Devin, do you not want us to clarify, or do you want to just go on with the misinformation that you keep spewing? Number one, the person before me, Frau, I forget her name, but she said that cake eater was not a term, negative connotation toward Caucasians. It is. I just showed you two examples in pop culture from a popular film from the 90s. I then brought up another point that Dr. W. Du Bois made. You keep conflating two or three different things into one
No, I'm
point and
only
twisting the
responding
meaning.
to the W.B. Du Bois. I'm not responding to the cake thing. I'm not even in that conversation.
So again,
I'm
Dr.
still on
W.
my
Du
original
Bois,
point.
Du Bois never said to ignore racism. I never said that, Devin. Why you're saying that and making that claim, I have no idea. That's in your
Repeat what
head.
you said. Repeat what W.B. Du Bois said. Repeat it.
Let me just pull it up because you're playing games again.
No. Say what you just said.
Give me a moment,
Because
Devin.
now you're going to read something that's going to be different than what you said.
If you say so, Devin, give me 1 moment, please.
The main gist of what he says is that just because white people attack you for race doesn't make it okay for you to do it to
In the
them.
meantime,
That's
the
my
main
point. That's my point.
Yeah, that's what I
That's
thought
what I
it
was
saying.
saying
Yeah.
from the beginning.
in the
Y'all don't
meantime,
track.
Shaky, you wanted to ask me a question.
Okay, like for instance, like slurs, right, within the white community. Like right now, I guess what can I even say the words like it's so they say like cracker or the H word. I don't want to say the H word, but I've been around in that community where they laugh and joke about that word, but now all of a sudden like it's a bad thing. But in the community, they laugh at these words. So how is that a bad word? Like
Right. So, well, I mean, obviously, that's not a super strong argument because the same thing happens in every community. Like people always, people take words back. But in that, to that end, I don't even think that like the C word or the H word. I'm only saying that not because I don't think people should say them. I just don't know how TikTok feels about them. They don't even apply to the majority of white people. Like I feel
right,
like
that's what
most
I
of the
right.
time that's like a Southern white person, or
Hmm.
like I'm like a third generation Polish immigrant that didn't get here until like after World War II. Like, like cracker means nothing to me, or no one in my family tree.
Exactly. But now all of a sudden, now it's a bad word. Like if black folks
Is it
say
a
it, now
bad
it's a
one? I didn't
slur.
know that it was. I'm sorry.
No,
It's
no.
no
What
big
I'm
deal.
saying, Dan, is like I've been in the proximity when I've heard white people say the words to each other and they laugh about it. It's not. It doesn't hurt them. But now in 2026, if a black person says it, it's a slur.
Oh yeah,
I said,
people
wait
are
a
always
minute.
gonna weaponize things on TikTok. Yeah, people.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not even just on TikTok. Talking about in general.
Oh, just people are gonna weaponize things and pretend to
Yeah,
be
in
different
general,
things.
right? Yeah, that's how I was saying.
That's
Yeah.
that's
When
life.
I
I
was
mean,
talking about, like,
that's been
just
going
to
on.
be abundantly clear, like, I don't even care about someone calling me a quote unquote white slur, which I'm not even sure exists, at least not in my mind. I just mean being attacked for being white, for saying that I'm in the wrong for X. I was born with the original
Or
sin
like
of
white
being white,
people,
which
like
is
people will say
claims that
like
I've
white,
heard
like
on
you'll hear
this
people
app
on this app saying like
unprovoked.
white people don't bathe, just like the little. Not I don't give a fuck. To be honest, I just think it's funny, but I think that's more of what Ed is referring to. Go ahead, Danny. Did you have your hand up?
Yeah,
Go
I
ahead.
did.
I don't even care about that.
I think I think it's important that when we use sources to justify or back up positions that they, I don't know, aren't Disney films. And so the phrase cake eater comes from a quote that is attributed to Marie Antoinette that she actually never actually said, which was let them eat cake. And it is because only the affluent, only the wealthy in history could actually have access to sweets and sugars and things like that. And so, like, that used to be a very, very big thing. And so that's where the cake eater terminology comes from. It absolutely is a reference to privileged, wealthy, spoiled people. It is not attributed to a specific racial group. The only intersectionality between those two things is that historically speaking, especially in Western world countries, it would be the white individuals, the white racial group that had access to that wealth and to that privilege. So that intersectionality applies, but the race is not the primary focus of the term cake eater. It is actually the economic position.
Oh, it was the elite black French folks during the Napoleonic Wars as well. Who were the black folks in the royal house during that time period? If it wasn't just for Caucasians, who were they?
So I don't think that you understand the point of what I just said. Theo, do you understand what intersectionality means?
You made the claim that it was just for Caucasian. I'm trying to figure
No,
out
I
who were the
didn't. No, I
elite
didn't.
black
I
French
never made the
people.
claim. I never made the claim that it was
Oh,
just for Caucasians. Tell me where I said that.
you just said that. That was
No,
the
the fuck
first
I
part of your
didn't.
statement. Oh, now
No,
you're
I didn't.
She
forcing.
said the opposite.
I
She
said the
said
exact opposite. Thank
she
you.
said the
Thank you.
opposite. She
You
said
said the opposite. Stop
because
making
it
shit up.
what she said there was that it applies to rich people. The majority of rich people happen to be white, so it's used
Oh,
more
Rowdy,
frequently
I'm
with
glad
those
you're
people.
here. I thought I
That's
was
what
going
That
crazy.
was not her statement at all.
That
And
was
the
that
exactly
was
first,
my
what she
statement.
said
You're
without
the
saying. I
only
summed it
person that
up.
can't hear shit, Theo. You're the only person in the
Yeah,
room.
you tripping.
Everybody else can hear it but you because you don't listen to actually understand or
Not at
comprehend.
all.
You just listen to say dumb shit behind it.
I know you're
Like
frustrated,
and then
but
and then
that's
the
not what you
crazy thing
said.
is you use a crazy Disney movie and two clips to say, see, this is what it really means, bro. For Mighty Ducks, bruh. Real? No. If you literally go back and look at history, that is where the term comes from. Let them eat cake. It is about rich people. It is about rich people who had access to sugar and sweets and cake, which historically speaking, they were the only ones who did. And when we talk about the Western world, the racial group that has historically had access to wealth has been white people, which means there is intersectionality, but it is not the race of the individuals that is the focus of the term cake eater. It is the wealth and the economic position. That is what I said. I have not said it for the second time. And if you didn't hear it that time, I don't know what the fuck to tell you.
I understand you're frustrated, but that's not what you said at all.
No,
You
because you
just
can't
lied.
fucking listen. I'm not frustrated at nobody but your non-listening ass.
Hey,
Ma'am,
Theodore, stay away from the golf club,
Hang on
man. You
just a
know,
minute, Shaky. Let the convo continue, please. No, but Theo, I have a question. That's what I got out of it. Kind of what I summed up.
she made two statements. The first part was saying, no, this term was not it was not denoted for Caucasians in the beginning. Then she corroborated what I said in the very beginning, which was, yeah, it actually is for Caucasians. She mentioned Western society and its
I said
influence.
intersectionality. Do you fucking listen at all? Do you
Let
know
me
what intersection means?
let me know when you're done so I can finish.
No, I'm never going to be done, so we don't have to hear your dumb
Oh
ass
my
again.
goodness.
I am never going to be done, just so your ass don't ever have to talk again. Because you
Okay,
don't
let me
listen,
tell
you
you.
just say dumb shit.
You're
Okay,
still
let me
wrong,
give you an
ma'am.
example. Like, I'm gonna try to break this down. Let's say that like there's an insult for like Utahns, and you use this insult, it'll be like ski bums, for instance. The majority of people that live in Utah happen to be Mormon. It doesn't mean that it's an insult for Mormon people. It doesn't mean, but a lot of people that happen to be Mormon live in Utah. That's kind of what she's saying. But it
And
isn't.
white. But it's not towards white people, it's for Utahns.
So
Yeah,
now
whatever.
Devin's
Well,
agreeing with
something
me?
like that. Just something like that. Like it's just
No,
that
McGrant,
happens to
see,
be the
you're
case,
not
but that
even
isn't what the insult.
tracking.
But that's not what it's targeting.
Yeah,
Why is he even
let's
here, bro?
let's not fall for this trick because again, his tactic is that he misrepresents what's said and then said, "I win the argument," because that's not what the argument is. Is saying then said, "I win the debate." He does this every time. Everybody on this panel, including the host, saying you are wrong. So I don't know what to tell you. If you're in a literally everyone, including, so are you, Theodore? So are you telling Dana's a liar? Since you're saying everybody agreeing with you, so Theodore, come off mute and tell me: is Dana is a liar? Now let's stop playing these stupid games. You can actually adjust your argument, make another argument, but let's stop lying and making up shit that was never said. We're not dumb. We're not drunk. We're not on METH. I know you're in New York. You want to have this delusion of grandeur that you're the smartest one in the room. You don't have to resort to stupid shit. You're a smart man. Don't resort to ridiculousness. You're hurting your own image. The fuck?
They just sound frustrated. Like, I'm not quite sure what the argument is.
Yes, you're all.
Dana, can I have a clip?
No. One second.
you- I'm
We're
sorry.
all frustrated.
Hold on. Can you have one thing?
You
Yeah,
did your job.
as long as it doesn't get taken down, I don't mind.
We're
Yeah,
all,
so-
yes, you did it. You got the W. You have frustrated this room. God bless you, boo. You got it.
Theo, what do I win?
Dana. Give him the award, Dana.
Yeah, I just want to know what I win, Theo, when I get the clip of this conversation and I said what the fuck I said. Bet. What do I win, Theo? How about your ass don't come on nobody's live for a week? You can't be on a panel for a week if when Dana gives me the clip of this damn live, I said what I said. Bet.
Look, here's the thing.
No, bet. Wait, Theo. I need wait a minute, Dad. I need Theo. Let's bet a week. You don't come on a panel. If I didn't say what I said, Theo, then if I didn't say what you said I said, then you don't go on a panel. And if I actually said what you said I said, then I won't go live for a whole last week. Bet me, Theo. Theo. Bet me, I won't go live for a week. If I get this clip from Dana and I actually said what you said I said, I won't go live for a week. But if I get this clip from Dana and I said exactly what the fuck I said, then you don't go on nobody's live, nobody's panel for a whole ass week. Bet right now.
It didn't work out for Joe Patrick.
I think that's against the terms of services.
Theo, bet. Where you at? Cat got your tongue?
I mean,
Trying to figure out where to move the goalposts to.
No, make that joker answer that question. I want the bet. I want the bet, or you admit that your ass is lying right now. Either bet or admit that you are lying, Theo. One or the other. Because you're not going to sit up here and act like I didn't say what I said.
hold on. I mean, he doesn't have to do either, right?
Theo, don't bail his ass out. I want to hear. I want him to answer. And I think everybody should just sit right here until he answers. Hell, then I'll get you some coins and gift your ass while we wait for his motherfucking ass to answer me.
I don't. You're good. I don't need.
Let's go. Bet it up. No live for you.
Theo,
For a
just
whole
admit
week.
that maybe you misheard. It's okay. Just
No, just admit
Because,
that
I
you
mean,
lying because everybody heard what I said.
I don't think he's lying. I think he may have just sort of misheard.
No, he's lying at this point, Dana, because four
No,
people done told him.
I know you have an affinity for him because this is always the case that it's something is misrepresented, and then we spend 30 minutes to an hour debating on what was said in real time because we can't bring up the recording in real time, and then the debate is derailed. And then he claims victory that he has now upset the room. He has frustrated us, which is, I wouldn't actually want that award. I would actually want the award of actually winning my debate. Not that I got people frustrated by lying on them. That's easy shit. That's easy fruit. So you want to win a debate by frustrating people, by lying.
Theo, bet 1 week live. And I know you can hear me because your ass was teacupping and came back. Answer.
Good morning, everyone. Dana, Ed.
Hello, officer.
Well, evening.
Evening.
Theo.
Could we go to the topic?
No, because here's the thing. No, because here's what he does. He us live all the time with this bullshit. And this is why we can't have real, meaningful conversations. And now he just want to sit up here and look crazy like he got mayo mouth. Answer the damn bet.
Well, if I was going to play devil's advocate against what
But
Theodore
don't
said,
play devil's advocate because you just doing a disservice to everybody too.
no, because I do think I have a strong argument against what he said. I mean, if we were to take the word cake eater the way it was used in the Mighty Ducks, I would say that we look at the characters it was
But
used
that's not the
against.
point. But
Gordon
in all
Bombay
fairness,
is a successful Minneapolis attorney.
you are pivoting right now.
Ed,
It's not pivoting. This is the original conversation.
You are trying to bail out Theo, and I'm not here for it.
No, Ed, what we're trying to say is that these conversations get derailed on purpose. And the fact that you call yourself winning a debate by derailing it, then that's not what this room is for. I don't think Dana wants us to get stuck on this shit for 20 minutes instead of having a honest debate. Make your claim. If you got caught in it and got proven wrong, then move on. You drop, just say, "Oh, I took the L," or then you can rebut and stay on your square. But the fact that you actually have the tactic to misrepresent what it said, and then when people get back at you, say, "No, that's not what I said," 'cause it was done to me also. Well, I guess these people don't know how to debate me. Oh, I guess these people are frustrated. Oh, I guess I'll stop until they calm down. I'm calm because I know what I said. See, that's the fuck shit that's being done, immature shit that we're tired of. We want to debate. We want opposite views. We want to hear opposition. But what we don't want to tolerate is people lying on purpose. That is time out for that shit. If you have something to say, to want to say it, make your claim. But the fact that we have to listen to this ignoramus just make up whole shit on a panel full of intelligent people. He's not BGB. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. So again, this is the cost for him. He can either drop or answer Danny's question. That's what it is now. He can answer her and take the
Theo,
bet, or he can drop.
Theo, just engage with what they're saying. Come on, dude.
Because we're tired of it, Dana.
No, I get it. You know me, I crash out when people do that shit. Theo,
Let's go.
but the reality of it is,
Are we betting or are you admitting you lied, Theo? What are we doing? Or did you leave?
He ran.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
yeah, I mean, that's what I got out of it. And I was only half listening. And I was like, it was easy for me to kind of.
Ed, well, I would like to hear your position. Now we can have a legitimate conversation.
Well, I mean, to what position do you want to hear? We're not talking about the Mighty Ducks anymore, right? Are we talking about Cake Eater? Because like I said, I don't really care about what would be qualified as a quote-unquote white slur. I don't think that I've ever been affected by a slur. I think that what I was talking about is that I don't think I like being attacked for the original sin of being white. Like, you can call me whatever you want. You can talk about white people smell like dogs, they can't cook, whatever. Cracker this, cracker that. I don't care. What it says, when you actually get to the soul of it and you go, because you're white, you are wrong, which I have heard unprompted by people on this app, I think that that's a bridge too far.
Would you consider take it to the point of calling it reverse racism, or is just?
I don't think there's such thing as reverse racism. There's just racism.
Okay. I mean, no. Well.
But do you think it's racist? Do you think it's racist? Though?
I think I think racism is like a co-opted word. I think it's lost a lot of meaning. I think that it's a personal attack on an immutable feature of someone. That's what I think it is. And I think that that's just...
But I think sometimes when people say it, and this is only sometimes, because people will be like, well, and I'm not going to even necessarily agree with this. They'll be like, well, how could you know about this? Like, it'll be about something like affecting the black community. You're white, so you wouldn't necessarily, like, it's that, because that's something, like, you're white, so you wouldn't know because this doesn't necessarily affect you.
Can I ask what was the original meaning, Ed?
Of
Of
what,
what?
racism?
Yeah, because you said it lost a lot of meaning.
Well, I think racism in its original term was attacking someone or treating someone differently in a negative way based on their race.
What point in time was that? Like, do you have a year or roundabout? Like,
No, I don't. Not off the top of my head.
oh,
No.
so you think that it was just an equal opportunity employer? Racism was.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, go ahead, Bill.
Why is it that all the words for white people, right? Gotta be food, cracker, cake eater. It's all food. Why food?
Yeah,
Have you looked at a white person lately?
I actually
You see the size of them? Say, nah, I'm fucking.
I actually
Just
wonder,
joking.
Ed, if
I'm trying to light up the mood. Yeah, it's funny.
I actually wonder, Ed, what you're saying
Diane, do you have your
is
hand? Oh, go ahead. Somebody else.
no, my
Oh,
bad.
Officer, go ahead, and then Diane's up because she had her hand up.
Gotcha. I was gonna say, I wonder, Ed, for what you're saying, if there's just like a limitation in language
I
to
agree.
identify what it is. Like I would say that white people don't experience racism, but they can experience like racial aggressions, and I just think we have a limit of language, and I'd even say we have like a limit of knowledge of like what that really looks like, because for so long the majority has held like absolute power over narratives, media, the police, systems and institutions. But like as those things do dilute, as we've broken down some of those barriers, I just don't know if we have the appropriate words or understanding or even like the comfortability to like identify an aggression towards the majority. And then I think there's a hesitancy to say that it's a right or a wrong, because I feel like people smuggle in a lot behind that, like claiming it's racism or claiming it's like a structural abuse to white people. And so I think, like, I'll land here. I think people have feelings. Those feelings can be violated by people in or out of power, and we have like just limitations on how we, I guess, engage with that from like the majority.
So I believe I was next, and so I think that we have appropriate language. I just don't think that people do their due diligence to make sure that they are using the appropriate language to articulate racial discussion. And so I think so. There's a amazing educator that I love. Her name is Debbie Irving, and she does a beautiful job, and it's very succinct. And I'll share it with you. Prejudice, bigotry, and racism are not the same thing. Anyone can be prejudiced. So prejudice is simply the negative prejudgment of another person or group without getting to know the beliefs, the thoughts, the feelings behind their words or their action. Prejudice is just a negative prejudgment. Bigotry is stronger than prejudice. It is a more severe mindset. It is often accompanied by discriminatory behavior. It's arrogant, mean-spirited, but it does not require systems or power to engage in. Okay? Racism is completely different. Racism is a system that allows the racial group that is already in power to retain power. In the United States of America, the only racial group to have used their power to create preferential access to survival rights and resources like housing and education and jobs and voting and citizenship and food and health and legal protections are white people, while simultaneously impeding people of color's access to these same rights and resources. That is why reverse racism is not a thing, because Black people in the United States of America have not ever had the power structure to be able to use those systems to elevate themselves while simultaneously holding white people down. So it is not overused. It hasn't lost its meaning. People use it interchangeably, but yeah, no, that's not a thing. And we are nowhere near close to dismantling those systems. You can take a look at the lawsuits around redlining and all of those other types of things, and then you would know that to be fact.
Right.
Wanted to,
So just oh
if I
yeah,
could,
please.
I appreciate it. To answer Bell's question, the reason why a lot of y'all slurs are based around food is because you came up with your own slurs. You created your own slurs, and it's really to put down poor people. That's why you have crackers and cake eater and all of those different slurs. And I have never heard cake eater myself personally, but y'all created your own slurs for against your own people. Um, I disagree with Danny slightly, and I'm not a professional, so if her definition is coming from professional, who am I to argue with it? But I don't think that black people, brown people, can be prejudiced. I think that it's a history of evidence that says anywhere Europeans have gone, they have not only destroyed, raped, and pillaged those communities that they've come in contact with. Those are just facts. And I do think white people can experience racism. I just don't think they can experience racism from other people. I think they experience the benefits of racism. I don't think, I think that black people can be bigoted. Yeah, I think that we can be bigoted. And I think that that's one of the things that's stuck in the craw of white men, that black people can be bigoted. They're probably the first generation that has experienced bigotry from black people, and I mean, I guess that could be hurtful, especially if I hurt your feelings by a joke or something that I said that you felt was derogatory, but that's not racism. And words have meaning.
Ed, did you want to respond to?
Yeah, to what Officer said, it was like I agree in theory, but I also think that the only reason that we lack the epistemology to talk about it is because I'm being charitable with the definition, because I could very well like turn this into a pedantic, frustrating conversation and just be like, well, you know, Webster's dictionary says this is what racism is. I could even take it a step further and I could say, even in intellectual circles, even like sociology circles, individual racism, which is, you know, person to person, can exist where it like has nothing to do with systemic or structural or institutional racism. It just has to do with me saying this to someone because they're that, or them saying this to me because I'm this. That's where I'm at with it. I'm actually trying to open up my own horizons here and trying to take the most I can from this conversation, but it does involve a piece of charity from me to do so.
And I say
Nigga,
something
did you
to
just say you giving us charity? What the hell?
I'm
yeah.
saying
I
I'm
don't
being charitable within the conversation. Because I could just make it like a messy scream back and forth. That's not what racism means. But no, I'm sick of those conversations. Let's talk about the actual like sociology definition of what racism is in the modern day.
So to Izzy's point, so Debbie Irving, the person that I'm reading from her website, is a racial justice educator and writer. She says this is her field of study. She's just one of several that I refer people back to in this conversation. Whenever you discuss prejudice and bigotry and any ism, whether that is ableism, whether that is sexism, racism, the
Communism.
ism, the ism indicates a system, a structure, right? And so in the United States of America, there is one sex that has had the ability to use its power to oppress the other sex while elevating itself. That would be men, right? We know that the vast majority of Congress, the vast majority of CEOs, the vast majority of judges, prosecutors, they're men, right? And so that is where you get the sexism from. Same thing when we're talking about racism. That is when we talk about the actual system, not one-to-one relationships and whether or not racist comments or bigoted comments can be made to each other. They are two different things. And it's important to make those distinctions when we have those conversations. So
But
whether you want to talk about socialism or whatever, you have to actually. I don't know if you're a specialist or if your field of study is racism or not.
Well, no, but I do know a fair amount about English, and the suffix ism doesn't just mean a doctrine or a belief system. It can also be an act and behavior, like heroism and criticism and plagiarism, or that definition that I gave of racism, the Webster one. It could be a condition and a characteristic. It can be a prejudice and a bias. So to just like try to monopolize ism as a doctrine or belief is just flat out wrong on its face.
Well, that's why.
So
Sorry, go ahead.
So the distinction that I made, and I'm going to try to be clear again, is that when we are talking about the differences between prejudice, bigotry, and whatever the ism may be, not that ism in and of itself only means one thing. Those words did not come out of my mouth. So, I mean, I don't know if you picked up where Theo left off, but that's not what I said. What I clearly said is that when you make distinctions between prejudice, which is prejudgment, and bigotry, right? And the racism, sexism, ableism, whatever the ism is, that is when the structure, the power structure, and the system is part of the conversation. It is for the purposes of making those distinctions.
Yeah, the reason why I'd said, my bad, Itch. I'll go after you. Go ahead, brother.
I appreciate that, officer. I was just gonna say that without action, a white man calling a black person the N-word is not racist. Racism, racist, that comes with an action. It's bigoted. That white guy was bigoted. Just like if I called you the C word, that's bigoted. It's not racism without an action. I don't know where y'all got off in the last 10 years thinking that y'all could experience racism because somebody called you a name. That's not racism. And you have hate crimes. You know, I don't know what the I don't know where we're missing each other. Because we can't use the system to push our bigotry. And I've already explained that we can't be prejudiced because we have every reason, I don't care what country you're in, to be adverse to white people. You've never done the right thing, ever. Never, ever have y'all ever done the right thing. So we have reason to be weary or adverse to white people. Again, I will give you that we can be bigoted, but we can't use the system to force our bigotry. Only prejudiced people can do that. Where are we missing words at?
And then to put a couple of faces and names to what I was saying, because just to be clear, I think when I say that we lack like a good, when I say that we lack like words to define something, I'm saying they don't exist. I'm saying that they don't exist like universally. So like for example, like Patricia Collins, when she wrote The Matrix of Domination, she had discussed that like personal prejudice and institutional power, those things are intertwined. That you can have somebody who is prejudiced and lacks power and has particularly low impact, or they can enter your institutions and become very disruptive. Like Bell Hooks kind of wrote about this, and she wrote a book, In Killing Rage and Ain't I a Woman. She discusses like exclusively discriminatory practices on an individual level, like mostly like personal animus towards groups can deteriorate social fabrics, which leads to institutional destabilization, which then leads to systemic abuse, which is something that I've actually argued or written about as well myself, which I thought was very interesting. Like Derek Bell kind of wrote about this as well in a few of his things. I guess what I'm getting at is I don't really care to have the argument with people, especially white people, no offense, about like what racism mean or doesn't mean. I think if people want to convey to me that they're experiencing something, I'm willing to hold space and water for that, but I'm not going to call it a thing that the group has historically lacked in this country. That's why I said I don't know if we even have words currently that are accurate enough to define what they experience other than just like aggression, and they can just embody those feelings however they want. I just wanted to put a couple of like
Right.
faces and names to like what I was saying earlier.
And just for me and you to have like a Philbro moment here, to what I mean by that is like,
Dana does
I
not want
understand.
that. Dana does
No,
not
go
want
ahead.
that.
I
I understand.
understand the concept of what you're saying, but here's the thing: like where it's
I
coming
see
from, like
your
what
needs.
Danny brought up, like how she brought up the writer she was speaking of, and her accolades as an advocate for racial justice and things like that. And this is how she uses the word racism, and this is what she says the word racism means. Nothing makes her the arbitrator of that definition more than anyone else. And we do know there's a wide swath of people, probably more so than the ones using the academic definition for the word, that not experience, but use racism in a way that's simply someone of a race attacking someone of a different race for that race. Right?
Would your grandfather have ever said that he experienced racism?
I don't know.
You'd know if your grandfather would have ever said that he experienced racism. Stop it. You're from Iowa.
I'm from New Jersey.
In New Jersey, would your grandfather have ever said that he experienced racism? Either one of your grandfathers ever said he experienced racism?
My grandfather was the son of a Polish immigrant, so yes, probably on some level.
From who?
Yeah.
From who?
Probably from a WASP.
Yeah, that's not racism then.
Wouldn't
See,
that be like
words have
xenophobia or something?
words have meaning. And if none of y'all can say that your grandfathers ever experienced racism, just because you're a softer generation, you can't experience racism either.
Right. So that threshold that you just created was pulled out of thin air. That's arbitrary what you
And
just
it's
said.
not.
Yes, it is. It's 100%
Okay,
arbitrary.
60 years ago, would your grandfather have said that he experienced racism?
It's a non sequitur.
How?
Because who
Because
cares?
are you experiencing something in a country that was created for you, by you? Are you experiencing something in 60 years that they didn't?
Once again, you're trying to be the arbitrator of a definition, and that's not how that works.
I'm not
You're
being an
creating
arbitrator
the
of a
definition.
definition. We're
You're
having a
creating the threshold.
conversation. We're having a conversation, and I asked you a simple question that should be able to be answered. Because I don't even think it's that hard of a question. Did your grandfather experience racism?
Right. So even if I gave you the benefit of the doubt and I just said no, never, he would never say that. Why would he be racist in a
Next
90%
question.
white
I didn't say that he was
country?
racist. I didn't say that.
No, I said, why would he feel racism? I apologize. I misspoke and wanted to say, why would he feel racism in a country that at the time was 90% white? That still doesn't matter. That
So
still doesn't
the
matter to the
next
conversation.
question, my next question would have been, did your father ever tell you that he experienced racism?
This is just the same ladder that we're climbing. We're just getting a rung higher.
If one generation after what, at least 10, 15 generations in this country, if you're the only generation of white people that experience racism, then that's not racism.
Here's the thing.
Control
If
the
my
system.
father was
You
attacked
don't
by
control the
someone of a
system.
different race because of his race, he would say he was a victim of racism.
Now you're
I'm
doing.
not sure if that happened or not. No story I ever heard. But if someone my father's age or my grandfather's age or my great-great-grandfather's age was in that situation, they could very well use the term racism to what happened to them.
Yeah, that's not how racism works.
Right, now
You
we're
can get
back
your
down
ass,
to the
you can get your
arbitrary.
ass whooped
This
without
is
it
where I
being
didn't want
racist.
this conversation to go.
But
This is
you
just
get your ass
advancing
whooped without it
now.
being racist, though, Ed. That has nothing to do with racism. See, you want us to extend something to your generation that has never existed in this country. And why? Because I can call you a name? Or because you can't call me a name? It's not racism.
Hey, Ed, let me ask you something because I feel like you took the ladder and put it up against the wall. Itchy just went up it because you talked about the fact that the definition changed or something, right? And we went into the historical conversation, and you kind of disconnected. Like, so if you're the one, you're talking about historical context. Like, that's how you initiated the conversation. So when he mentions it, you're saying it's a non sequitur, and he's creating
Hold
a
up just
side
real
argument.
quick. Hang on. Danny is next. She's had her hand up for a long time, so
Oh, I'm
let's make
sorry,
sure that she
Danny.
gets it. Danny, are you ready?
Yeah, I'm here. I know it's okay, Devin. Yeah. So I a couple so much has happened since then. So getting your ass whipped because you white is not experiencing racism. That's experiencing bigotry. Somebody don't like your ass because you white. That's bigotry. That's not the system or the structure of racism by any definition, not just by Debbie Irving's definition, but literally in the world of academia, in the discussion of racial and social justice, we understand racism to be indicative of a system of oppression. And it requires a system and a power structure in order for a group of people to be able to perpetuate it, right? And Itchy is right, to be honest. I would say on an individual level, anybody can be individually prejudiced, but in terms of Black people being prejudiced against white people, no, it's not a prejudgment because history demonstrates how white people have behaved. I think what's important, just really quick, talking to Officer, when we start to talk about bell hooks and Ain't I a Woman, then you would have to also go back and tie in Sojourner Truth's speech, which is where it originated, right? So Sojourner Truth is the first one to give her Ain't I a Woman speech in 1851 before bell hooks wrote her book in 1981, and then being able to correlate the intersectionality of racism and sexism, which is the double blind that she speaks about in that book in 1981. And so I think it's just really important that we do not take these opportunities of intersectionality to somehow minimize, discredit, or pivot away from racism and what it is or what it is not.
Okay, so here would be an example I would give. Do hate crimes exist just to coact racist actions? Anybody?
I think that would be a non sequitur. Like, I think,
What was your question, Ed? I'm sorry.
like,
I said, do hate crimes exist just to to make sure racism is curbed?
I think that's a small part of it.
So if a Black person attacks a white person just because they're white, can they be charged with a hate crime?
Yeah.
So then by legal definition, they would be being racist?
No.
so you're trying to use
Yeah,
a
it's big.
racist country to
No,
establish the standard.
what's racist? What's racist is Ahmaud Arbery's case, where 3 white men attacked a Black man for being Black, and then the system covering it up. That's racism.
Didn't the system put 3 people in jail for life?
The federal government put those 3 people in jail. It had to be a federal investigation because the state, the local government, was racist.
Yeah, the cover up was before the trial because the father in that scenario had a relationship with the DA or the prosecutor, and it went away. The only reason we know about that case is because the guy in the truck who recorded it said, "Oh, I want to clear my name because," and he released the tape. It had already been covered up.
Oh, no, I'm not saying
You
the
didn't.
cover up. I'm not saying that the cover up wasn't based on racism. Yes, I'm familiar with the case. I'm saying if the greater system existed to right the wrong of racism, does that mean the federal government is inherently not racist now?
Means that the federal government is the only place that we have refuge because state laws, state legislation, states' rights are racist.
But the federal government's inherently racist, is it not? It was
Yeah,
found
no
on
doubt. Yeah,
racism.
no
It's
doubt.
based on racism. Do you
The
not
whole
see at
point is
least how this could be confusing to someone that's uninitiated?
no, it's just that you don't have to deal with racism. That's why it's so foreign to you.
Yeah. So Ed, I'm gonna do it. Get off the. I'm gonna take it away from racism. I'm actually gonna take it by identity. So when the man went into the Pulse nightclub in Orlando, he shot it up and unalive people. That's the same act that the man in Las Vegas did to the people at the concert across the street, unalive people by pew pew. But what makes the Pulse nightclub a hate crime is because the people that were the targets were of a group. They were all LGBTQ, and he went to a place that was a refuge for that group, a safe space, and took them out because of who they were. One aspect of them that put them in a group.
Right.
So we can't say the pew-pewing in Las Vegas was a hate crime because there were so many variables of people. They were just people. You see, can you see the difference there?
Yes, it actually lends itself to my initial argument about if someone is attacked because of the color of their skin, no matter what that skin is, if it was forward facing why the attack happened and it was the root of it because of the race, that is indeed racism.
But you're missing the part that makes it the marginalized and minority part of it.
Not racism because there's a crime and a statute for it. It's called a hate crime. And black people can go to jail and prison for hate crimes. Has nothing to do with racism. Y'all be letting words kick y'all ass, bro.
Basically, what Itchy's saying in short is that, and I just want to clarify, make sure, if the system is stacked against you, because of a specific group you're in, so there could be like,
Right,
pretty
Dana,
much, the whole system has to be, in some way,
I think you know I
society
know
as a whole,
exactly
right?
what Itchy is saying and what you were saying, because this is what you said in the first place. You know that I understand these concepts.
Yeah.
I'm
So at this point,
testing
it's just
the
sort of,
tensile strength of them. That's what's happening. And I think that on several levels they fail. The actual like ability to bend but not break isn't there for these claims.
But I think
You
what
know
you're
I'm not here trying to be provocative, right? You know I'm not trying to be provocative, right?
No, I don't think you're being provocative at all. I think you earnestly believe what you're saying.
But I think you're questioning because you're trying to make the argument. I know you understand it. Like I said earlier, we're all educated people on this panel. I don't question anybody's intelligence. But what I'm saying is, I think the reason this has now become a topic and questioning is because there is a desire for people that are racist to diminish and dilute the positioning or how we look at these things. And sort of like, well, if everybody does it, then you ain't special and we don't need to treat you, with an extra hand. Just like with, like Donald Trump, and I'm gonna do a political. Oh, the Biden crime family. They were taking shit, they were doing all this shit and la 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 la. When you actually make it everybody does it, then you can't look and single me out, Donald Trump, because everybody does it. Where will you start? If everybody does it, where will you start rounding people up? And I think there has been a movement to say, oh, white people get racism too. So when you call racism, it ain't a special thing. It's just the cost of doing business. That's why it's taking it off the table. When we started adding those add-ons to charges, people didn't like that. And so the way to combat it, not take it off the books, but just make it look like it's commonplace and that everybody experienced it is nothing special. I can't remember officer can tell me what's the real term. I don't want to say accelerant or add-on charges. God, what is
Enhancers, aggravated, yeah,
yes, enhancers. Yes. Thank you. So, Ed, that's why I'm thinking I see your position in where we're saying that white people can experience racism because the people in the marginalized group, there's no place in America where, say, black people had controlled the housing market or, the Fortune 500 companies where I can hate you because it happened to me. We had this, I saw this in Dana's live. Somebody didn't like how I talked to them and they had a preconceived or whatever bigotry towards me and decided to place a 911 call and say this black man is threatening my life. That's weaponizing how you feel about me and the fact that I'm checking you in a store that you don't have my food ready that I paid for in the app. And then he weaponized that because when that leaves his mouth over the phone, that goes to the dispatcher, then goes to the officer that shows up on the scene that's going to have a certain attitude towards me when they come, that somehow I'm a threatening person. That's how racism operates.
Right. And did anyone want to go? Because I do want to respond to that, but I don't want to step on anybody.
You can go and then Admiral had his hand up.
All right. I thought I seen Devin have his hand up too, but I don't know.
Oh.
What I'm trying to say is like I said, I completely understand the concept and I understand what you're saying, and I actually think I understand the function, like because obviously historically, when the idea of racism was brought up, it was brought up as a countermeasure to try and stop it. But at the time, since there was very, very, very little like power for the black American population, it was used between white people. And the only way that they could even conceptualize racism is to understand that, like, well, what would it be like if an Asian guy just attacked you for being white? That's racism. So I understand, but I'm saying that the layman's term became normalized. That's how many people accept it. Like that's how they see the word and its definition. Now there's the academic, the definition from academia, and I think in an attempt, a justifiable attempt. I don't think it comes from a place of evil or self-victimization to stop racism, or at least call a little bit of the racism, calm it down in America. It was to re-monopolize the word and say, no, actually, even though you've grown up to understand that you could be on the wrong end of racism, that's what it never was. It was actually about this greater system that existed in the first place. And the only way you can actually be a victim of it is if you're not involved on the high end of that system.
Excuse me.
That's a 52.
And I just don't think that that's the way to do that.
Tell you about being in people's business.
She went over $20.
Y'all stop it. Y'all know that woman don't know she up here.
Oh, I didn't know. Let me try. Who was next? Admiral, were you next? Or something? I kind of wasn't.
So I just wanted to ask you,
Yeah.
Ed, like,
Oh,
what do you,
Devin. Hey, I just want Ed to know,
Go ahead.
motherfucker, you just
Go
filled 5 minutes with nothing but words. You ain't
Yeah.
see shit.
That's what I wanted clarity on that. I just want to know, so who do you attribute the change in the definition to? Because or how it functions.
Yeah, I think there was I think there was a more widely heard, greater platform of academic based racial justice that was, at first soft rolled and then hard launched into the general public, and that's what's happening right now. It's happening as we speak.
So do me a favor, Ed. Let's go back to the inception, like when it was initiated. What did it mean then?
the inception of the word racism. I think when it
Well,
was
well, just yeah. What was going on when they described something as being racist? Do you think there was a
some of it
wide
was,
swath of
yeah,
black people running around being racist against white people? I mean,
once
what?
again,
How do you? Huh?
I don't think it was about who was actually doing it. I was thinking about who. I think it was
Well,
about
why? How could it not be?
could you find yourself in that situation?
Say it again.
I don't think it was about who was and wasn't doing it. I was about to say it was
Well,
about
how can it not?
being
We're
able to
talking about
conceptualize whether or not it could happen to you.
what? So who came up with the social construct of race? And what was it? What was it used for?
Portuguese, I think.
All right. And what if you see a Portuguese person walking around on Fifth Street in Trenton?
Uh,
What would they be? Would they be white?
yeah,
All
I
right.
believe
So
Portuguese. Most Portuguese people
so
identify as white in the census. I would say.
so functionally here, when you deal with like chattel slavery and all that kind of stuff, right? Like when you look at you could even look at the Naturalization Act of what's that, 1790, right? And it talked about you had to be white, you had to prove you were white. We even had cases in federal courts as late as 1920 where they talked about the guy Ozawa, where he was trying to prove that he was Caucasian because that was the
Like, you
original
gotta kind
meaning.
of jump in. So if
So there
it's,
was clearly some separator, and they did it statutorily, they did it legally, institutionally. So how could you attribute any version of racism to black people if they were the original subjugated?
let
You
Admiral get
understand what
in
I'm
real
saying?
quick. Just because he's had his hand up. And not to cut you off,
Let
Frank.
Admir go, and then I'll answer you.
He's probably gonna say something profound.
Yeah, Devin. Hi, Danny. Got a question for you. Would would racism constitute of what's happening in the trial of that young man Carmelo today? How would that play into racism?
Who is it talking to?
Are you asking
I
the
was
room
asking you.
or can you direct it
No,
to
I'm
I
me?
was
sorry.
asking her.
What were you asking me?
I was asking how would racism play into the trial of young man Carmelo down in Texas?
What do you mean?
My position would be that he would be found guilty for standing his ground when everybody else white get to stand their ground and use that definition to pew pew people that are black or brown. But then they don't do it for him because they can't imagine that a black boy would be scared for his life. Because the racism would be that black people are hard and thug and inherently violent. So how can he be scared and sit and do what he did? That's how he could manifest in that trial, in my opinion.
Or the fact he got booked that day, Rowdy.
He got what?
I thought
It
he
could
was
also
What
be
you
this is, and I don't. Let me just. This is like something I just thought of. It could be like the jury, and I know that the jury is supposed to have like no like awareness of the case and stuff, but the media coverage could like bias the jury to have a certain kind of viewpoint. Just right? Couldn't that be it? Even
I
though
mean, there's
like
a
they
t-
say,
yeah,
even though
there's
they
always a
say
ton
that
of
they aren't
different.
supposed to have any knowledge of like the case, but that's probably not going to happen.
The jury
Yeah,
itself, you got people like Peace. My fault. Go ahead.
Danny, did you have something to say?
Okay, well, when you have juries and you got to pick from 12 people, like people who live in rural, I'm not even gonna say names, people who live in rural Texas, that jury's already stacked against you. Because we've heard just on TikTok in the last couple of months, white men say that specifically, no matter what the outcome is, he has to pay for something because he killed or he unalived that little boy. Not that he was doing it in self-defense, but just the mere fact that he took the life of a young little white boy. there are people that are in that area in Texas or surrounding areas of Texas that have said on social media that no matter what the outcome is, he deserves to go to jail, go to prison.
Yeah, what I didn't even know what you were asking me, Amir, is like all the potential possible ways that racism could be playing into this case, right? Because there's a ton. But we see racism playing its roles in court cases all across the country at all times. I mean, we see it with Kyle Rittenhouse, we see it with young Camilla, we see it there, we see it just even in media descriptions. The two radicalized jihadist thugs that committed the pew pewing in the Islamic Center in San Diego. The pictures that was posted all over the internet of those two boys was in fucking Letterman jackets with they damn little high school medals around their neck. They didn't post their pictures everywhere of them in their camouflage with all their weapons on their lap and when they're going live before they went to the center. You didn't see that. You heard them referred to as teenagers, even though one of them was 18, 19 years old, right? Why? Because they were white boys. And that's a completely, we don't get that. We see it play out all the time in media and in court systems and the legal system all the time.
And let me be clear. He was arrested. That's what I said, booked. I realize you ain't understand that. He was arrested that day, charged as an adult that day. Arbery, I don't think that they're arrested for over a year, wasn't it? You know what I'm saying? You can go on and on and on.
Yeah, they was cover up. They were out until one guy made the mistake of releasing the video.
So it's not common for stand your ground to result in an arrest that day and charging that day. That's
What was the point of your question? You must have been trying to get at something by asking it. What was it?
Because I'm trying to correlate with the case that would happen in New York with that dude stabbing Irina, right? Because I'm trying to correlate when you say one case, there's going to be racism, but then how would you describe that case up there? Because we saw a woman was sitting, he walked up to her, stabbed her in the neck, and now he's claiming, that he's a fucking clown.
Yeah,
right?
first of all, that was North Carolina, not New York.
I thought that was New York.
Yeah, that was North Carolina.
That was Charlotte, North Carolina.
That's in your neck of the woods. Okay, Ichi.
Secondly, the racism was the system that ignored his mother for 11 years. They had been begging for assistance for that young man for 11 years. And in that 11 years time, every little minor infraction that he got, he did the time for it. But you can't just throw the book at somebody because of, the little petty crimes. But what you could have done is that you could have made sure that that kid who had psychiatric problems, who had mental problems, had the help and assistance that they needed, that they so desperately begged for. That's the racism.
Fair enough.
so you guys are assuming that we mean that there's racism between the people and not racism in the overall system. Do you see how, like, you're trying to say, well, how is racism being regarded when a black man does something to a white person, rather than how the system responds to those situations? That's what we're looking at. How does the system
but are you
respond to
saying?
these?
But are you saying that a person can be held responsible for their own actions?
What? Nobody said that.
But I'm asking you. I'm assuming you're.
I mean, we've
Yes.
always been accountable for our actions, but like, I got criminal background to show you.
Okay, so the action of the man in North Carolina is I don't care what he did in the past, right? I don't care what the crime he did in the past. The actions of that day, he walked in and he unalived a person. So he should be held responsible for the actions of that day, not what led up to it. Because I don't give a fuck what led up to it, right? The system,
according to the law, Admir, because there is a distinction if you are somehow mentally impaired. There is a provision in the law to say, well, you didn't know right from wrong. You were not in your right mind. So that exists. So what we're saying is this defense, or this saying he had mental illness, was not some tactic by a defense attorney. Like Itchy said, it was well documented over a decade. So it's not some get him out of jail free card that a defense attorney, but he was having a schizophrenic moment. He was in delusion when he did that. He unalived her. He said, "She's in my head. She's in my head." So how can you hold somebody accountable? Because we have distinctions for children. Underage, you don't charge them as an adult unless you show depravity and somehow level that escalate them to be charged as an adult, even though the crime could be just as heinous.
May I ask my question of the panel, please?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so if I say to you, I don't trust white people, at all, and you call me a racist, I would like to know how my feelings hurt society in general, the laws that govern us. How does my feelings one-to-one affect the laws of the United States?
Can I ask you one clarifying question?
Sure.
This is just a point of inquiry. I'm always curious about this with people. Do you think that you can harm the social fabric by, actually, no, I won't do this. I'll just give my opinion back to you and see what you think. I think that you don't have a direct influence on the legal system, but I do think that like racial aggression amongst citizens is just corrosive. Like it erodes our social fabric, and we lose the ability to like talk to each other, to work with each other, to like formulate solutions like as a group. And I just think that's bad. I'm not saying like your statement directly would. Yeah, I'm not saying your statement directly would cause that. I'm just saying like mutual racial violence or mutual racial aggressions aren't good. The same way it wasn't good, obviously, when it was geared towards like my people specifically.
Okay, so basically, I'm hurting you, but I'm hurting you on a personal level. Okay? Even if I become aggressive in that dislike, I am hurting a person. The laws that govern us, unfortunately, take a group of people and have racist laws. Okay? Because why should I have to speak to my biracial grandson and tell him how to behave in case he gets stopped by a policeman? Okay? How many times does a white person do that? Okay? Just because my grandson would be more in danger of the way he is treated in a court of law than somebody else's child. Why is it that white men rape and assault women and they get lesser time? Why is it that my friends that got caught maybe smoking some happy weed, okay, back in the day, were given 3 and 4 and 5 year sentences, not for selling, for personal use? And why is it that white men sell much more and get a slap on the wrist? So you can drop me, Dana.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you for your input. Appreciate it.
I guess I'd like to know why there's a perseveration on describing the thing with that word. Because it almost seems like you guys don't believe justice will come unless you can call it that word. If this man goes to trial and he gets life in prison with no hope for parole, right? You don't. That's not even justice to you. It's almost like it has to be called
Go
racism or a
ahead,
hate
Edmund.
crime.
thing
Help me understand that.
I had a question though when
Yeah,
Adam was
like me
done.
personally, like I think it would be more of an injustice if he goes to jail for life than if he gets off. Honestly, like I think like it's a pretty clear cut case of negligent homicide unless we get like a huge different like view within the actual evidence that acquits him. Then fair enough. But like I don't think a 17-year-old boy that was clearly being encroached on some level, even though it may not have been wildly violent, and made a split second decision should have his life ruined forever.
But that still doesn't address the question on why do you think that there's a need to use that word to describe black people's behavior? Why won't any other word do?
Wait, are people calling Carmelo Anthony racist?
No, I'm talking about the conversation. We're talking about racism,
Oh,
right?
okay. No, I
So,
just think that it's apt. I think it's apt. I don't think that I need it to be justified. Like what I would say is, why is the monopoly on the word so important to you? I would just flip it back on you.
because, for example, think about Admir's question. His presupposition was that because we don't describe it as racism, then we don't see it fit for a person to get justice for their act. You know what I'm saying? You see how that worked? It
Wait,
pivoted
what?
from because that was loaded in your question.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, it
I was
was.
getting a clarifying question. So I'm not sure
Yeah,
why you putting words in my mouth and
well,
thinking that
why
that
would
I
you?
was getting a clarifying question.
Yeah,
Would this be
but
looked at as racist?
that's right.
Because
But then you move to the next thing.
hold on, no, because just
You
like
did.
Itchy said, for the last 2 months, all we hear is the justice system went after
Wait,
this young
excuse
man
me, I
because
need
he's
to just cut
black.
in quick. Doesn't everybody, your whole thing doesn't make sense because everybody has the opportunity to use the insanity defense. This isn't something that's just specifically for black people. What the fuck are you talking about? What?
I don't know who said that.
You said that because I thought what you had said is because he's allowed to use the insanity defense. That means that somehow like the system is stacked in favor of him. But every human being
I
is
don't know.
allowed
I
to.
don't know what you heard, but that's not what I said.
Oh, I
Yeah,
thought
but
so.
First off,
that's what you're
Isn't that what he said?
implying.
Am I
Yes,
crazy? I thought
he's
so.
I think
Admir.
using
What you're doing is
insanity.
you're making
Is that what he
implications.
said, Ed? I just
Yes,
want to ask you. Ed, is that what
I
he
didn't
said?
hear
Hold
him
on.
say the word insanity.
he didn't use
Oh, he
those
didn't say
Well,
any
words,
of the. Oh,
but
I don't play the. Oh, one thing you guys are. I don't play the game that if people don't say the word, it isn't what they say. You should
yeah,
know that.
he didn't
what I
say
That's
the
what he
said.
word,
said.
Why
but he
can we?
described that.
That's what the fuck he
No,
said. Don't try to BS me
no.
right now.
I
That's
said.
what
I
the
That's
fuck
what.
he
said.
said.
Why can we
And I
hold
was even
him
riffing out how
accountable for the
that was the gist of
actions?
what he was saying. Yes, it
Right,
was.
Right. I
but how do
earnestly
you
didn't
get?
pick it up from that, but like, maybe he did. Like, I
Isn't that
trust
what you guys got
the
of it?
sentiment.
Got out of what he
Yes,
said?
but Ed,
Yeah.
here's
Am I
the
going
issue
crazy?
Ed, here's the issue I'm trying to address. I don't know how it went from racism to now. Do you think he should get like? I don't know how you get there. You understand because I'm gonna tell you.
Because you're trying to make something
No, hold
a
on,
lot bigger than
Admir.
it
Just let me.
was.
No, you made it a lot
Yes.
bigger than it was because the
Yeah,
conversation.
absolutely not. I asked a question, I got my answer, and we moved on. Then you interjected.
Okay, Ed. So what I was saying was that he went from asking a question about racism to there was something in there. There was some kind of presupposition that
So
we
now
didn't.
you're psychic now?
Why can't you let me finish?
Because I'm not going to let you do this
Because when
because
you
that's what
get
you do all the
listen,
time.
dude, I've tried to
I'm
teach everybody
listening.
that comes into my life. When you make a point, you don't need to outright say it, but the general idea, the main idea, the theme of what you're trying to say, you're gonna imply certain shit, and people are gonna get out of what you say. So don't like if
No,
you're
but
trying to be
well,
like dancing around it, people are still not stupid. Like, go
sure,
ahead.
because
Admir,
he's
so
trying to imply what I said. That's not what I said. I asked a specific question. Then the other question, what the answer actually led to the other question, and it was answered, and I moved on. So now he's trying to say that I was implying something. How the fuck would he know
that,
that I was implying something? Is he in
Because
my head
people
or
can
something?
use inference. That's that language
yeah,
art skill that you
that's
learn in third grade.
that's what Dana's saying. Because Amir, because you started a conversation, is asking how can racism play into the Carmelo Anthony case, and we talked about that and gave our answers. And then you move to the guy on the train in North Carolina, and then said, how can he then not be held accountable for his actions against the white woman? So the inference is that somehow there is a need to, how can we deny him poking a white woman and not consider that racist? And that's when we got into his state of mind. So that's how we got to that inference.
So when Ichi told me about his past, how the system has failed, I followed it with the question. I don't care what the system failed. I want to hold him accountable for that day. What he did in the past should not hold any water. System failing him, that doesn't hold water.
Except it does, and that's a ridiculous thing to say. So
how does it?
And I'm going to tell you how. Because what we are now talking about is another time where we have the intersectionality of where racism shows up between our judicial systems, our legal systems, and our healthcare systems. So if someone has a mental health condition and they reach out to the government, to the system repeatedly for help, and they say, this is a condition that I have, and it is diagnosed, and it is in their medical records, and they are not equipped and given the assistance that they need, and they are put back into those situations where they do not have the capacity. Like, you do understand, mental health means they don't have the common capacity, the common intellectual, emotional intelligence capability and wellness to be able to manage regular societal conditions. And this is an issue that is prevalent. If you go back to 2025, Kaiser Family Health News did an entire thing on this about how the mental health system and the healthcare system is failing mental health patients. This just happens to be a time where we don't want it to matter because he happens to be a black dude, right? But white boys can pew up schools all the fucking time, and I'll be damned if we don't give a shit about their mental health and if they were bullied or not, and if they whatever. Like, we care about what's happened to them. But in this condition, now all of a sudden we don't care about anything except his actions that day. Not how many times he or his mother asked for help, not how desperate he was, how much he reached out and wanted the system to help him and be a participant in society. But no, we only care about the one bad thing that he did because he happens to be black. That is how racism shows up in this shit day in and day out. And whether you say it or not, we all hear it because dog whistles be loud as fuck when you black.
Hold on. So you're saying that one little thing unaliving a woman is one little thing?
No, she was saying that you are focused on him being black.
No, but she just said one little thing, you should hold him accountable.
No, I didn't.
Yes, you did. You just said that.
No, you are trying to make that be what I said, and you know it's not, because you don't want to seem like you are bigoted. You are mad right now because everybody heard exactly what you weren't man enough to directly say. And now that people have called you out on it, thank you, Dana, for saying exactly what you wanted to say, but did not have the guts to say it outright, and everybody heard it. Now you want to be some kind of offended about it.
Absolutely not. I want a man held accountable because he unalived a person.
No, so you do not. If your argument, let me just say one thing, and then I promise you I'll give it back to you. I just want to clarify. If your argument, you think the insanity defense needs to go away.
Yes, in his case, yes.
Okay, but that's not the way. So you only want it to go away for black people or for everybody?
No. Hold on. Why would you just say that?
Because that's what's being implied.
Say that it's just,
that's what's being implied. That's what's being implied.
That's not being implied. You're implying it.
Come on. I'm not.
You're implying it. I'm not implying it.
That's what you're implying.
Because you only said it about the black man's case. That's why.
No, absolutely not.
I just need some clarification. Are you saying that he doesn't deserve the insanity plea? Is the reason why you're saying this is because after he did it, he said, "I got that white bitch," or supposedly said that?
No.
So why?
No, because the actions of that day, of unaliving a person, you knew exactly what you were doing.
No, that's called
That's
mental
not
health.
true. Yeah, that's
Okay,
not
okay,
true.
hold on. Okay, so let's get into it. Is there any past mental health evaluations on this young man or well,
I mean,
this
we was
man?
talking about
Yes.
racism before you
Yes.
got up
I'm
here, man.
confused.
That's literally
But
all that
Doesn't
we are
yes,
talking
everybody have
about.
an opportunity to use the insanity defense? This is why this is just so much bullshit. He's claiming it's racist against white people because this black guy also has an opportunity to.
When did
That
when
is,
did I say racist?
that's what
When
you.
did I
Yes,
mention
you
racist?
did. You
that's what
said
you're
is race
implying,
involved in that
Admir.
trial. I was listening. Don't try to bullshit me. Like I'm,
So
even
saying
though I
so
pretend like I'm
saying
not
so
listening,
saying
I'm
a
very
man
good at catching on to shit.
so
I'm
saying
not
a
stupid.
man
That is
should
what
be
he
held
said.
responsible. So
No.
saying a man should be held responsible for unaliving a person is racist?
Such a fucking.
No,
Or
saying
say,
what
no,
you
That's what he
you
said
said.
know good and
in
well
the
that's not what Dana
context
just
Whatever.
that
You're
you
not. You're
said.
being
said it.
disingenuous. What you
Yeah,
Yes.
saying
specifically
what you
said, and I'm
said
not going to let him
in the
get away with this
context you
because I was
said it in
listening. Hold up, Devin.
makes you
You
racist.
specifically said, "How does race play into the?" I don't remember the.
Carmelo Anthony's case, yes,
Then you
not the
said,
man in
"Now,
North
how does
Carolina.
that compare?" Shut the fuck up and listen, because words have meaning. How does that compare? And we remember the topic was in regards to race to this case, and I don't know this young lady's name. How does it compare to that? The implication being you were comparing the two important the issue, comparing race and how they connected the two trials together. And when you brought up the insanity defense, the implication, and it wasn't like I'm not crazy, it was a very clear implication, was that because he is using the insanity defense, that is racist against white people because he gets to get away with using the insanity defense. Which is why I ask you, doesn't everybody have an opportunity to present that as a defense? That's why I ask
Sure,
you.
and if
So
that's
like
the
just
case, I
stop
think
being
every single
disingenuous. You're just being an
sure,
asshole.
I think every single person who unalives somebody else should use
You
that
know, people are
and get away
stupid.
with it. I mean,
Except
if
that
that's the
everybody
case,
else
fuck
that
it.
uses it, Admir, doesn't have a 12-year history like this particular man did.
That's why I
And that
asked.
is why
That's
you
why I
sound
asked.
racist as fuck. Because
Oh,
we are not talking
I know
about
because
because
I
what we
asked
are
the
not
question.
talking about, we are not talking about somebody just randomly saying, "Oh, I want to pretend to be crazy," without having a documented history of mental
That's why
health
I'm
Uh,
asking you,
effects.
and everybody turned. I said, where can we find the documented history that this young man had all these mental issues? Where can I
Already
find
told
this?
him. Itchy already ran
That
it
would
down
be
for
up
Hold on,
to
just
the
you.
because
judge
Itchy
to
said
do.
doesn't mean
The
shit.
judge is going to do it.
Just
Well,
because
did you look
Itchy
it up?
says,
Because you got an opinion
yeah,
on it. Did you look it
I
up?
did, and
look
there's
it
nowhere
up.
that and if it
Did
okay,
you look it
even
up? And it's crazy
yes,
to me
and
because
nowhere
the
I
only
can
cases
find
that
it.
you're asking about is about black perpetrators. You're
Yep.
not asking, and this is the wildest thing to me. The fact that it is 2026 and white people want to pretend like you don't know what the fuck racism is absolutely crazy work. Why are we
Oh
even
my
having this
god.
conversation?
And
Yeah,
Amir,
you're
I
right.
said
You're
that
right.
I literally said this is not some cooked up defense by the defense attorney. There's a track record, and you can't find his records online and go through them because of HIPAA rules. They're
Okay,
going
so
to be
how did you
entered in
then find it?
that, sir. I'm saying that there's a history. Whether or not it raises to the level of criminally insane will be adjudicated by the judge. And it will be
Hear me out,
adjudicated.
Rowdy. Hear
And
me out.
wait. Let me finish. Because we can
Oh my
end
bad.
this. You don't have to get contentious. And it will be adjudicated by the jury. So again, if the judge is there, if there's a motion put forth by the defense saying that he did this, he is criminally insane. He didn't know right from wrong in the time he did it, because you could literally snap, not have a history, and snap in that day and be criminally insane, because they have ways to then document that. Not everybody can just run it and do it and get off like you're implying. And what Dana is saying is that how it may not been your intent, but how it's landing in the room is that he's getting off for killing that white woman using the he's insane, and that's a travesty. That's how it's landing.
Okay, so the claim is that this man had a long-standing issues with mental issues, right? So I actually tried to pull this up, and I agree with you. You can't find nothing because of the HIPAA. So my question is, because if I read through all of his cases, the
Yes, you
only
can.
thing. Okay, so where, Danny?
I got you.
I'm reading it right here. I'm reading it right here.
right now.
I'm reading it right
Yeah,
now. I agree with Danny. It
No,
says
it's
that
right here.
he's been repeatedly deemed incompetent to stand trial. So he's
no,
been
no, no. I'm
repeatedly
saying no,
to
no, no.
court.
Hold on. You're not hearing me. I'm asking because there's a claim that he had a long-standing of mental health issues.
I'm
that has been
responding to
Schizophrenia.
it, Admir. I just
I'm reading
responded
it.
to
The
that.
man has been hospitalized for schizophrenia. I'm reading it on PBS. Now, while
PBS. What
what
the
it
hell is
might not
PBS?
do, it's on PBS NewsHour. It's an entire article about it.
Hey, when people pretend to be stupid, it's like my pet.
It's the
But
craziest
are
shit
you saying
ever.
I'm stupid because I don't know what the fuck PBS
No,
is?
you're pretending to be. I think you're highly
And
intelligent, but some people think it's cute to
to
pretend
keep
to
a
be
man
stupid.
with
I've never
they
quite
face
gotten
sharp criticism for failing to keep a man with a history of mental illness, arrest, and erratic behavior off the streets before he fatally stabbed a young Ukrainian refugee on a commuter train last month. This is a whole thing about it. And you see
That
all these different
PBS
times
did.
where he was called to a hospital because of his history. He has a history of mental health issues. And the question
history,
isn't,
Danny.
is this a thing or not? The thing that's so wild to me is, do you ask this question about white people
No.
who use insanity or mental health as a defense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Hell no.
Because
No, I don't
Chris
believe
Watts,
you.
yeah, because Chris
I
Watts
don't
tried
care
to
what Rowan
use it.
says, and I'm not
Yeah,
fucking
because
stupid.
Chris.
His intent. Shut the fuck up. I'm not gonna lose. Once I make up my mind about something, I'm not gonna be bullshit.
I don't give a fuck what you say. You just don't like the questions
There's
I ask
no
because
fucking
you're too
doubt
scared
where
to ask.
he's leading
Because you're
with
too
this.
scared
For a
to
fucking
ask.
time. Shut up, dude.
Oh,
You don't
somebody
say
must
that.
have
We're
sent
having a
him.
conversation about
Somebody
race. You
must
don't
have
talk
sent
about
him to
race in
fuck
regards
with
to
you.
one trial. Bring up another trial, and then bring up the insanity defense without that being the implication. Go to fucking hell. Don't try to bullshit. Fuck off, dude. I hate when people
And
do
it's
that.
right on the AI
Just
overview. It
say, and
says
that's
he's.
why I said, where are you going with this? Like, what's the point? Like, get to it.
Fucking
AI
Theo passed the
overview.
baton. That's what
But
happened.
listen,
Theo said, "Hey,
all you
Admir, go ahead and do it, because Danny gave me a bet. You go ahead and fake some shit up." The fuck
AI
out of here.
overview.
all you
Fuck outta here.
all you have to do is research it further to tell you that he's been deemed incompetent in multiple trials.
Yeah, PBS articles. Yes, I'm sure.
No, it's not. WDBJ7, North Carolina Health News. Go to the New York Times, Fox 5 Las Vegas, WBAL TV. I am literally looking at 10 motherfucking articles right
That's what
now.
I'm telling you. It's
Let
widely
Google
spread.
be your friend.
I have a question for Admir. Hey, what's up, Dan? What's up, panel? Hey,
What
Dan.
up, Mike?
Admir, let me ask you a question. You said this is Michael. You said that you looked this up,
Oh,
or you mentioned when Danny brought up about the legal defense of insanity, right? In other cases, you've looked at. Can you tell us any other cases you've questioned the validity when it came to the
Chris
defendant
Watts.
being? Hold on,
Chris
let me-
Watts, who
can I-
unalived his whole
can I-
family.
Can I? Let me finish my question.
I want him to do it where the victim is not the same race, though, DeBoss.
Well,
That's the one I want.
That's what Michael was
That's
gonna
where I
ask
was
him.
going. That's where I was going, but he cut me off. Where the victim was of a different race. Admir.
No.
Okay. Now, what made you look it up in that case that you spoke about?
Because it was nationalized, it was televised all over the country. It was a huge story.
Cool, but what made you look up the defense of insanity? What made you research it in that case?
Because I can only speak for myself.
I'm
But
just asking you.
everything that I've done in my life, I knew exactly what I was doing. I
So
knew
why
exactly
did
what I was doing.
again? Why did you look up? Why did you?
Because
did
it was
he
an
plead?
interest. Because
Did he
it was
plead
an interest
insanity?
of mine.
Did he plead insanity?
No, he did not.
Not till
So
not
wait a
until
minute.
the defense.
Not
So
at
hold
all.
on. But what made you? That's why I'm asking the question. What made you bring insanity into his defense? Why did you research to see?
Because there was a talk all over the social media that he was going to try to attempt to plead. Yes. What are you talking
No.
about? How the fuck are you going to sit here and
Because
tell
I
me
watched
no?
the whole motherfucking trial. I'm a true crime
I don't give a
bitch.
fuck what you
He
try
never
to
claimed
all that. Are
He
you
never
follow me on
claimed
social
it.
media?
Never, ever, ever,
Did
ever,
I say
ever,
that
ever,
he
ever.
claimed? Did I say
No,
that
he
he
didn't.
claimed it?
He
Did
never,
I say that he claimed it?
never claimed it, and nobody speculated
Did I
he claimed
say that
it.
he claimed it?
Everybody
Did
that
I say
watched
he
the
claimed
video
it?
from the front Listen, that motherfucker was so good. He had his wife's phone. He had everything. He didn't appear erratic. He didn't have he had no mental health issues whatsoever, and did not claim any. Didn't act like it, and there was no discussion about it.
He claimed it.
No, he didn't.
Did I say he
the
claimed
fuck he
it?
did? Look, here, oh, okay,
Well,
because you know I love me some
he's
damn
answering.
receipts.
I know you, Danny. I know you got receipts, but but besides that, that's why I'm asking you. What made you, Admir, interject an insanity search? You were doing research. You injected the insanity defense. What made you go down that path with him? That's what I'm asking you. If it wasn't part of his history, what made you go there? Dana, do you understand the question I'm asking?
Yeah. Okay. Beagle question. We're having a discussion about race, and all of a sudden you want to have a philosophical conversation about whether or not the insanity defense is good or bad. Like you just wanted. Like, come on, give me a break. Whatever. Admir was just such a.
No, my question
I
is
don't
simply.
even dislike Admir, but he was just really pissing me.
No, he's still here. He's right. He's right beneath me. But
No, he dropped.
no, that was itchy. That
Oh,
was
now
itchy.
he did.
I just wanted to. Hopefully, my question is clear. Because if it wasn't part of his claim, if there wasn't a history of him having mental issues, what made you inject it in that case to look for it?
Because there's got to be there's got to be some reason that a good old white man like Chris would do something to his beautiful wife and children. Because you know, white men they just don't. There's something has to have happened to them to make them do things like that. Michael,
That's why I wanted him. I'm with you, Danny. I wanted
I'm
him.
never gonna let you live this shit down.
I wanted him to admit to himself when he was looking. I want to know why you were looking. And I believe what you said, Danny.
First of all,
Hold on, Admir, can I have
hold on.
one
Let me
second?
get
Are
back
you
with
guys
Danny because she
talking
made a
about-
claim.
Yeah, are you
Let
guys
me get
talking
back-
about Chris Watts? How did
yes,
we get,
that's what he's claiming.
how did we even get here?
That's your folks, dog.
Because he
came up
said
here to
that's the
save
one
you,
white
Ed.
man that he looked at his mental health.
No, the claim. Michael asked me about him, about the guy in North Carolina. That I stated the story was around social media. Then you said no, it wasn't. He didn't say that.
The
I never
lies you
stated that
tell.
he know that.
Admir, please,
I never stated that
please
he
stop
said-
crashing out. It's gonna be
Michael
okay.
asked you,
Admir.
what white man's case did you ever look into mental health on? And you said
Correct.
Chris Watts.
Chris Watts.
Right.
Correct.
That's what
Yeah,
happened.
because I live a block from the
asked
house.
you, why did
Yeah,
you
but
look at
Admir, you're
mental
still not
health
listening.
Yeah. And then he said to you, well, what made you look at mental health in the Chris Watts case? And you said, because there was all this speculation. And Michael said, well, did he claim it? And
He
you was
took
like,
his
oh,
whole
but there was all
family.
this talk on social media that he might claim, which there
And
wasn't.
then you said he never said it, and I claimed.
He
I
didn't
said
say
I never.
it. Nobody said
I-
it. His lawyer didn't say it.
I never
nobody
made that
nobody
claim.
said that shit.
I
but
never made
racist
that
motherfuckers
claim.
looking for a
Hey,
reason.
so
never made that
Admir,
claim.
Admir,
But I never made that claim.
are you conceding now on the fact that you're the one that invoked the insanity claim for Watts?
No,
You're the
because
one
Danny's trying to put that
What the
I said that Chris Watts was doing that. I said social media was
no,
saying it
you,
around.
but
And they weren't.
Admir, when Michael asked you the question, it had it as an adjoiner. He talked about one that had that claim. You said that Watts had the claim. That's what you said.
So
You looked into it because of that
I
claim.
understood that he was talking about the case in North Carolina. That's what I was talking about.
What? No, stop,
That's
Admir.
what I was talking about.
No, Admir.
No.
Jesus
Admir.
fucking Christ.
He asked you a
I
whole
swear to
nother
God,
question.
Theo is texting Admir right now, telling him what
He
the
got
fuck
it,
to
he
say to
got it.
y'all. I swear.
All of a
Admir is
sudden
way more
talking to me about
disingenuous than Theo. Yeah.
all of a
So,
sudden talking about me
Who's
about the
Theo? I don't
definition of
know him,
racism
Theo.
doesn't seem so bad, does it?
Ed, I'm sorry, Ed.
I don't know Theo.
I'm gonna
Who the hell
refollow
is
you,
Theo?
Ed. My
Admir, you're
fault,
disingenuous
dog.
as fuck.
Well. I just
Who the
wanted to.
hell's Theo?
So hold on for a second, Admir. I just wanted to. I'm gonna land my plane. And I'm gonna drop. I just want to. And the reason I'm asking because there has to be a reason. Social media. But when you did your research, you found out that there was no mental health in his past.
No,
None.
there was none
Right.
whatsoever. At least that's been reported. No, by his
Right.
parents or anybody or
Right.
nobody. Yeah,
No.
nobody.
But and I'm gonna land my plane here. The idea that we'll look for something that it hasn't been presented and then ignore what's been presented in another case leads you down one narrow path. That's the whole discussion. That's what Dana was trying to say. That's what Danny was trying to say. The path gets narrow because you narrowed the scope.
Okay, so what I was trying to say is this. I asked the question, where did they get this issue, the mental issue reports? The nanny said PBS, and then she brought up a whole bunch of other stuff. Okay, so I'm saying is, okay, so where did they get it from? Because I agree with Rowdy. Under HIPAA, you can't, where are they getting this? So if they're getting it from somewhere, okay, well, where are they getting it from?
But but
And
but
if that
but
is the
but
claim, if
medical
there's an actual claim,
diagnosis,
cool.
but medical diagnosis with HIPAA is different from a court case saying he's not eligible to stand trial for a case. That's completely separate. So if you look at his court records and his court history, what were the verdicts in those cases? What did the judge say about those cases? But again,
I
his
can't remember off the top
I
of my
know,
head, but I
and that
know they
wasn't
were
that
messed
wasn't
up.
a question to you. I'm just saying his mom came out and said it. All you have to do is go back and look at his criminal record and ask yourself, with all of those charges, how come the courts didn't get him help? He was clear that he had been diagnosed, but why stop? If you did the research for Chris, why didn't you do the research for him?
For the man in North Carolina,
Yes.
because I couldn't find nothing. The
So how
only
did
thing
we
that I
find it?
was able
Y'all
to
got it.
the only thing that I was able to find is a quote from his mother, and that was it. I didn't find nothing else like Danny was finding out. And now I'm gonna go back and look all of that and look everything that she was talking about. PBS, New York Times, all of that.
Okay. Y'all got it.
So Admir, see, here's the thing that this is how it's because we all knew where you were headed and we were tracking you when you were heading there because in conservative media, social media, podcasts, everything like that, they are pushing, there is a market to push a narrative. White people be scared because you're under attack. That's why the what's her name? The girl, the undocumented girl got killed by the undocumented person. Lincoln
What?
Riley.
Lincoln
Lincoln
Riley.
Riley.
Lincoln Riley.
Yeah.
It wasn't
Yeah.
Molly Tibbet.
No. No, it's Lincoln. Yeah, Lincoln Riley. See, then this person on
Lincoln
the
Riley out of
train.
Georgia?
Yeah,
Is
the
that the
one
one?
that
Oh, okay.
y'all was celebrating because this is the thing is
Oh, I
there's
ain't
a
celebrating.
market. Well, this is I'm not saying you the conservatism because in order to push the thing like, hey, we gotta do this mass deportation and we gotta treat them really bad because look what they did to this little white girl. And the same thing was starting to gin up with the Ukrainian woman on the thing. Look, he unalived her and he's about to get off.
Yep.
And so there's a market that's being spun in conservative media to put fear in people to then be compliant to policies and rules that are racist and undignified that they want to get your buy-in on. That's how this all ties together. And when we say, like I said, you can't get his medical records because literally like all this stuff, but him being declared incompetent on court cases, all of that's public record. So that you should have been able to find it. But I think what happened, you heard a discussion, you picked up on it, and you came in here and without doing the due diligence to find the information.
No,
And
I've
Rowdy, can I
actually
say
spoken
this?
about this plenty of times. We've
But
actually
but
Yeah,
had
but
rooms
not
read
That's
about
how I
this.
knew he was
not
lying. I
around
knew
these
I heard it
people.
before it was
Not
from you.
not around us.
No, he
But
did.
but here's the
Motherfucker
difference
got
though, you
brains.
guys. But here's the difference that we have to address when it comes to media. And the sad part is conservative media, MAGA. That the Lincoln Riley advocates, when the ones that came out, one is enough and one is too many. This is why I've always said, I'll continue to say it. I will never change my stance on this. White America doesn't even care about their own children and women. They don't. And because we can talk about Lincoln Riley. I talked about it last night, but they don't know who Travis Decker is. They don't know who Peyton, Evelyn, and Olivia are. Now, I would ask you in this climate we're in, when all this started in the Lincoln Riley, because every time something happens to a white girl, we get laws passed. We get laws passed in this country. But when it happens to someone else, we got to fight for it, and they don't get passed. And you don't challenge me on it. Look at every law in this country to protect somebody. It had to do with the white child. It had to do with the white woman. Megan's Law, Amber Alert. I'm not making this stuff up. But when we talk about the media, you would have thought that everybody on this panel would know who the hell Travis Decker was last year. Most people still don't know. The man was
I'll be
former
honest, I don't.
military. I know, and think about this, Admir. So I'm going to tell you who he was. Last year, over a year, almost a year and a half now, a year and 3 months, Travis Decker, a former Army Ranger, unalived his three daughters.
Yep.
A white man unalives his three daughters, and there was supposed to be a national manhunt. I can guarantee you there's 220 some odd people in here. Maybe 10% know what the fuck I'm talking about. And you got to ask yourself, how was that possible? In this country where we profess to, the right is the party of law and order and crime. They'll talk about this North Carolina case. They'll talk about Daniel Penny on the train. But the minute it comes about white people committing crimes against white people, they sweep it under the rug. And I like to ask white people, why do you tolerate that shit? But you can truly get on board with crimes that happen against your people with someone that is a person of color. You'll get on board with that and generate laws for that. But you won't do it when somebody that looks like you does somebody that looks like you. Make that shit make sense. So I say all that to say this, Admir. When this conversation was happening, that's why you got the reaction you received, because it felt like the same old play from the same systemic racism that we see all the time. And the fact that we are okay about it, the fact that we're okay when the argument is, well, white people this is Donald Trump's argument. White people get assaulted by or unalived by police officers just as much. Okay, fine. Well, where's your fucking protest then? Why aren't you outraged? Why would police reform be a problem for you? Why would that be a problem if you're saying it's happening to you? Because you'd rather not address it and let the cruelty happen to minorities before you fix the overall problem. Because you know the fix in the justice system will also be a fix for other minorities, and you don't want that. You'd rather sacrifice your own to keep your foot on somebody's neck than to fix it and take the foot off of everybody's neck.
See, I think
That's a good point.
I have an inherent problem with saying with what you said when it says this is why I say the white community doesn't care about their children or their women, because that could be so easily flipped on any community. Like I could say the same thing. Like, why aren't you protesting O Block right now?
We do.
Like,
I'm
do you
glad
want?
you brought it up, Doctor. We protest all of our shit. And see, this is why this isn't an argument for you. We protest everything that happens in our communities. We go out and fight for those things and the conditions that help oppress our communities. But set us aside for a minute, Doctor. Get back to what I said about your community. I can stand on what I say. I can tell you that 2 years ago, when that area, or 3 years ago, when that camp in Texas flooded, and those children were unalived, and those camping workers unalived, was preventable. But white folk didn't want to take the money from Biden. And so with a known problem in that area, mind you, it was a known problem in that issue. Back in 1987, 8 people lost their lives in that same area for the same reason. They had money to fix the early warning system, and they would rather not take the money from the Democrats to protect their children than to take the money that they spent the money to hurt and harm brown people in the Rio Grande. So you can't tell me that this country cares about the children. They won't change laws in this country when it comes to hurting children at school. Now, will they? What do they say then? They talk about mental health issues when it's a white perpetrator. When it's a black or brown perpetrator, they're evil and they're animals and they're all, you can't escape this argument because this is the reality. You can't walk away from this. Just tell me where black people have had their George Floyd protests, and I won't say another word.
You're working on the idea
The
that you
Pink
need
Pussy Hat
these,
March. I mean, the women's march. There you go.
Women's
Yeah, that was white women.
marching for who?
The march, the day or the weekend after he got elected, was white
Hmm.
women marching. It was called the
I'm
Women's March.
saying, where are white men and women in this country going out marching against the ethanol? Where are they going? They're saying,
I mean, now
where's
you're
that march?
changing the now you're
What- no,
changing the requirement. You said when have white people on march to change that, and I
I'm
just said
talking about.
weekend.
I'm talking about
He's
white.
talking about things
this
that are happening in
argument.
your community,
That's what I'm talking
like
about.
that you are perpetuating against yourself. So like black people will march against the things that are in their community that are harmful to each other, right? White women were marching for themselves against somebody that was in office, but it wasn't something that was perpetuated by them within that community, right? Ain't nobody, you know, marching against Sudafed in your neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like it's not a thing.
I
It's
thought
not
That
a
was
we
my
thing.
point. That was my
But the
point, Danny.
crux of the problem with the argument is that, like, you're thinking that there is a good end if there was just mass vague protests, but generally speaking, people on the right don't think that's accurate. We
But that's not
don't
what we're
want to
talking
do
about
things. You
at
are.
all. Let me just
So
offer,
why
and
aren't
Daniel, you might
you?
be interested in this. There's a whole study about it because I do have to run, and I appreciate you having me. But there's a whole study about missing. It's called missing white woman syndrome, but it doesn't just talk about when white women go missing. To Michael's point, it's when white women go missing. It's when white women are unalived. It's when all of that. And it's there is a ton of empirical data and evidence about not only how much do they make it into the news cycle, how much longer they stay in the news cycle than black and brown people. And like, here's a perfect example. And then I'm going to go. And then Michael, I want you to finish. But so watch this, Dana. So watch the comments. So y'all tell me the name of the girl that went missing in Aruba on a senior trip after high school. What's her name, y'all? Watch the comments. There's some shit for you.
Fuck
I know what you're
that
talking
blonde
about, but I
chick.
forget her name. It
Hold
was a
on,
Yeah,
very
just,
that
but
blonde
blonde
watch,
chick.
watch the
Gabby
comments, y'all.
Petito. Gabby Petito.
No, not that one. Hold, see, but you know that white girl too. Hold on, we're gonna get there. So yeah,
Natalie
look, they got it in
Holloway.
the comments. Natalie Holloway. Now, what's the name of the white girl? What the little white girl found in the basement of her parents' home and she was a pageant girl. What's her name?
Ramsey, my next door neighbor.
Right.
JonBenet
Okay. So
Ramsey.
tell me about the other little white girl that was kidnapped from her house and she got a whole damn Netflix ass show right now.
Elizabeth Smart from UK.
There you go, Elizabeth Smart. See, look at that. And
These are
so,
all
and who's the
extreme,
one
I
who was
just
in
know
that was
because
doing who was the one that was doing the video with her boyfriend in the van trip all through the mountains?
That's Gabby.
That's Gabby. Yeah. See what I'm so
These are
so
all
who's the
extreme examples,
who's
though.
the
You
pregnant
can't
white
use those.
woman? Who's the pregnant white woman and who's
Peterson. I
Peterson?
just remember
Let's
her
see.
name. Peterson.
Okay, so do you
Was it Jamie?
yeah, Scott
Lamey?
Peterson. Scott Peterson. Yep,
Yeah.
exactly. Lacey was her name.
Lacey Peterson.
Exactly. So now what I would like for you to do, Admir, is tell me the name of a black woman or a black girl that went missing or that was unalived that received similar equitable national coverage.
Oh, fuck. I don't
Anybody.
know.
Yeah,
But
that's
see, you can't, and this is the point that we're making, Admir. Okay, this is a real like they've done so many studies about this because it does not happen, and I know you damn sure can't do it for a Native American or an Indigenous woman because their statistics are even worse than black women. This is a real thing, and this is why I said we are in 2026 right now, and y'all playing in our face like y'all don't know what racism is. This is the point that we are making is our women and our children can be just absolutely devastated across the board. And it is not even a bleep on the motherfucking screen. But let somebody touch a hair on a little white girl and the whole world fall the fuck apart.
Can you name
Not
one?
that they don't deserve. Listen, not that they don't deserve, but it's
Somebody
that
in
we
the chat.
all
Somebody in
deserve
the
that.
chat. Name a black person. I mean, can you name one?
So yeah, but that's not my responsibility. I'm not doing your heavy lifting, white man.
No, I'm just asking you, black lady.
Yeah, I can, but I'm not doing it for you.
I'm just asking. Do you
And I
can't?
already said it. Yes, I
Here
can. And
comes
that's
the
why I'm not
racist
doing it for
Let me tell you in
you.
the
defenseman.
chat. No, I'm just curious. You asked
Here
the
comes the
question, but I don't
racist.
think he can.
Here
I don't
comes the
think he
Yeah.
racist
can.
Well, I don't
defender.
care what you think, Peace.
Yeah,
You
I don't think
understand?
he
Nobody
can
gives
in
a
that.
shit what you think.
I don't think it's. Well, I'm just saying
I
it's
don't
not
give a
just
fuck
white
what you
people's
think.
fault.
I
You
don't
vote.
care what you
Most
think.
media is
As
left
a
wing.
black woman, I don't give a
Can
damn
someone
what
else
your
speak?
white willy ass think about
Can
this
someone else speak
conversation.
about your
That's
black
why nobody was
broadcast? I
talking to
mean,
your
what are
raggedy
you doing
ass.
here?
That's
Why do
why
you got to
nobody
do
was
that?
talking to
Why do
you.
you got to do that?
That's why
White
nobody was
willy
talking to
ass, you're
you.
black.
That's
Whatever.
why
Stop
nobody
it.
was talking to you.
Stop it.
That's why nobody
Can
was
someone else?
talking
Can
to
someone else
you. You
speak?
know, Peace, you already know how this is going to go. You're
You
not
know,
going to
yeah,
come in
you
here and
need to be
bulldoze over
quiet and
me.
let someone
You
else
are
speak
not
on
going to
this
come up in
panel.
this bitch and bulldoze over me. You're not going to do it.
Nobody's trying
It's
to
not going to
bulldoze.
motherfucking
Trying to see.
happen. It's not going to happen.
You're asking
It's
questions and
not
you
going to
won't
happen.
shut
I
your
didn't
mouth.
ask you shit. I didn't ask you
You
shit.
asked everybody,
I was
woman.
talking to
Just be
Dana.
quiet for a
I
second. Hold on.
specifically was talking to Dana,
Dana,
not your
let's take
raggedy
down the
ass.
temperature. Let Danny finish, and then you can go. Okay, Peace.
Hurry up.
Yeah, I'm not dealing with your little racist bullshit. Peace. Miss me
Go
with
ahead and
that.
You're
finish.
the only one bringing up race.
I
You're the
give a
racist.
fuck what you. I don't care about you
All right, finish up. Finish
at
up so
all.
other
No,
people can
fuck
talk.
you. I'll be here until goddamn tomorrow.
Dana, why you
Watch your
let
mouth.
him
I'll
come
tell
in
you that
here and
right. I
upset
will
the
gift the
apple
fuck
cart?
out of Dana all day.
Danny is going to finish, and everybody else is
Finish
going
up.
to shut the fuck up as she finishes, please. Thank you. Go ahead.
Anyway, Dana, there's a whole slew of information on this. Admir,
Yeah.
you too, because you were surprised when you couldn't think of a name. And the point is, the reason I did that was to show everyone in real time how quickly, like everybody was do. And then when I asked for one of a black or brown woman, it was crickets. And so that's the end of my willingness. So this is the part that I really want people to understand. It is not my job to do the heavy lifting and educating for you. My job is to show you where the problem is and tell you how to get the information. What you do from there is typically on you. And if you are a piece of shit person like Peace, then you're probably not gonna do nothing with it, which is why I wasn't talking to you. I was talking to Dana and the 240 other people in the room. If you all want to know more about that subject, there are links in my link tree, and you can also Google it. That's it. So, but Dana, I appreciate you having me.
Thank you, Dana.
Rowdy,
Appreciate you coming.
Ed, Boss,
Yep.
Liv. I
I'll
don't know
talk
if
to you
Liv's
later.
gone. Dev, good to see y'all.
It was nice
Yep.
talking to you.
I'll
You
give you a
too.
call later.
Okay, sounds good.
Yep. And I know, Peace. I want you to go, but I want you guys to think about this. I'm gonna put a period on this. The Amber Alert. Did you guys know that there's an Ebony Alert? Did you know that, Dana?
Yes, I did. I
Yeah.
kind of wanted to comment on the whole thing that
No,
she's.
no, go ahead. No,
No, I
do
was just
you?
gonna say about like she brought up Elizabeth Smart, and like because it happened to Salt Lake, but like during that time there was also a Navajo kid, and I don't remember the name, who did get kidnapped. It was that same thing, and the media was just so focused on Elizabeth Smart, and they found her or whatever. It was still very, but they never did. I mean, they never did find the other little girl that had been missing, and it was happening like at exactly the same time. And
Yeah,
so
I'm going
that's
to be
kind of when I became
100%
aware of it.
honest. The only high profile case that happened to a black American that I can think of that wasn't like a police unaliving was the girl that got locked in the hotel, the freezer. They found her in the freezer, like she got drunk with her friends and then she wandered off. And I can't
Yeah.
remember her name. That's
Look,
not because
I
of
don't.
black privilege.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm sorry. If we're going to, again, if you take it personal, if you feel like it's a personal attack, that's a you issue. It's literally just, it is what it is. The Ebony Alert is here in California.
Okay.
The Ebony Alert is here in California because the Amber Alert has been shown to disproportionately not be effective for black children that go missing. So they had to come up with another. You guys can look this up. They had to come up with another alert. That's a problem. That's a problem. And if you don't think that's a problem, then you're part of the problem. I'm not saying that you have to feel personally responsible for it, but the conditions that we're in, the system that we're in, allows that to be a thing. And so to come up and say, well, name me a black person, that's irrelevant. I don't know why you're protecting a broken system. It makes no sense. You got to ask
Peace, are
yourself
you still
why.
there?
Go ahead, Dan.
No, I was taking inventory. That's why the reason I named one. I wasn't like, nah, I can prove it. I can name one. I was just
Oh, no, I
thinking.
wasn't saying you. I wasn't saying you, doctor.
Yeah,
I
I was
wasn't
actually
pointing that to you.
reflecting on the situation. I was like,
Yeah, I wasn't saying that
make
directly
notes.
to you. Yeah, that wasn't
From
directly
the
pointed at you.
freezer.
Hey,
Yeah,
Ed,
Shaky, I'll
I
let you
think
go. Mate.
Ed, I think that and you've seen it multiple times, right? And this is my point. Like you see what Peace did, right? And then it changes the temperature of the room. And then somebody like you comes along and you hear somebody just yelling shit, and it's usually because there's been a whole bunch of like subtle little racist remarks or microaggressions or dismissal of racism and the associated harm, and then it turns up. And then you come in and say, well, they can call people names. Well, it's because he was calling us names. He just wasn't describing it. It wasn't overt. It was
Right. No,
subtle.
and to that end, I know exactly what you're talking about. What happened right there with Peace and Danny, I think, was just two people being overtly aggressive. But I know what you're talking about too. It definitely happens for sure. I've definitely walked into a room where it was a white guy getting yelled at by a group of black people, and then as I sat there, I noticed how racist that white guy was actually being. For sure. Like,
Peace, go
without a
ahead.
doubt. I'm not saying that doesn't happen.
I want to say this, Ed.
No, hang
Ed,
on.
I
We
like
just
you
said
better.
Peace was next. Sorry.
Well, I just want to say, okay, I'll be quiet. Ed,
No,
Ed, I
say
like
it. Yeah,
you.
go ahead, Schwartzley. Go.
All right, Ed, as a white guy, I like you better than Peace. Peace has some fucking biases. He says some ignorant ass shit. Ed, you've never said that to me. We put it through comments, so I give you the benefit of the doubt. There you go. Peace, fuck you, man.
Peace, go ahead.
Okay, cool. So no, that whole thing was there's not disparities in that whole thing because I agree. My point was I was trying to point out before she was completely rude is I was trying to point out that we can't name a black person and neither can they. And this is not our fault. This is the media. The media runs what they run. What 75-80% of the media, the mainstream media, is left leaning. They run the stories that they run. We often always have questioned, why is this story making the national headlines when we know that this happens to women, whether someone goes missing, we know it happens all over the place. Why do they pick this one? What is it? If it's not an actress, if it's not someone famous or connected to someone famous, it's like, what makes that one
Excuse
rise to
me,
the
can
top?
I just ask a quick clarifying question? But wasn't that whole point? Wasn't
Right,
her point? It's almost like you.
Yes.
That
I
was
don't
the
think
whole
so.
point. Is that
No,
the
I
media?
don't think so. I was trying
Yes,
to.
That
it
was her point. That the
That was her
media,
point.
that society and media as a whole doesn't give them as much attention. Not that we as white people aren't tuned in. That society, the police, there isn't as
The
much attention
system,
brought
the
to it. The
institutions,
system.
the mechanisms
Right.
are configured in a way that's what it does. It's pre-engineered. It's built into the framework.
But and it
That's what we're
also
trying to
works.
tell y'all.
And it also works the opposite way because right now, if I ask
It
everybody
doesn't.
That's
here,
it.
It
You see what I'm
doesn't.
saying?
hold on a second. Can I
This is the
finish?
No,
problem.
let him finish. Sorry,
Let him
can I get
finish.
in
Gosh,
Let
already?
him.
damn,
Please
you
let him
big mouth
finish.
He's
Go
gonna
ahead.
run right into the point.
Let
Let
me
him
finish.
finish. He's gonna run right
Yeah,
into
we
the
are
point.
gonna let him. We are gonna let him finish.
Yeah,
But go
let him
ahead,
finish.
The
please.
problem, you lefties can't shut up and ever listen. So
I'm a Democrat.
what
I'm
I'm
not a
trying to
Democrat.
Shaky,
say,
come on, dude, please.
so what I'm trying to say is the same thing works in the adverse. So the media, the reason, if I ask you right now, if this whole chat does we do the same experience
You
and
mean
ask you
inverse?
who Shamir Elkins is, none of you knows. None of you knows. I know because I live close to the area. But this man, while y'all are talking about this one scenario, this man happens to be a black guy and he took out 8 of his kids, his entire
You
family.
know who he is.
Hold on.
You know
I'm not
why?
done. I'm not
We
done. I'm
know
not
who he
talking to
is,
you.
though.
You know,
Let
because
him
me and you
finish,
talked about
please,
it.
Michael, and then I'll let you respond.
But hold
You and
on.
I
Not
have
because
talked.
not
You
because
and
we
I have
talked
talked
about
about
it.
it. Shut up, Michael.
Man,
You're
you
gonna
shut
let
up.
me finish. You have been
I'm
talking for
letting
30
you
minutes
finish.
straight. Be
Peace.
quiet.
I'm
Let me
letting you
finish.
finish, but
No,
don't
you're
try to
not. You're
make it
trying
seem
to
like we don't
instruct me.
know.
Be quiet.
We
So
know who the
what
fuck
I'm
it
trying to
is.
say is a lot of the
Fucking
people don't know
morons.
who that person is, you idiot. A lot of people don't know
And how
who
come you
that
didn't?
is.
How
And
come you
this
didn't do
is
the same
because,
experiment?
don't make me mute you, please.
No, we are.
Well,
Okay, just hold. Can we
Just stop
please,
it. Michael,
please?
you talk
Hey,
way
Flady.
too.
No, everybody, chill out. I just want to kind of set the expectations. Peace is gonna finish,
You
and then Michael, you can
can't. Peace
respond.
is here just to be
Please.
a
But
disruptor.
please,
I'm
can we
not.
not just try to get it into
You're
like the whole
not.
drama stuff?
You guys, no matter what, you just want to
So please,
interrupt
just
because you
please
can't
finish.
handle it.
Just
Yeah, I know.
something from the start.
I'll rush
Yeah,
up, and then
go
Michael
ahead.
can talk for the next 20 minutes.
No, I'm
So
gonna let you
tell you
finish.
what,
I shut everybody up.
Michael,
Please.
listen, or everybody. Well, all I'm trying to say is we see how it works. We know most of this country is white. We know that most of the damn media coverage, negative and positive, they're going to do these types of things for white people. Those seem to make the news. And then the adverse, they're afraid to report the other. The reason it wasn't national, all over, wall to wall coverage was because the man was black. If he was a white guy, it would have been all over.
You're a
Everybody would have knew
liar.
this guy's
Let him
name.
finish,
Because if
please.
he would have executed 8 people of his family, the NBC, CNN, all of them would have been all over it, wall to wall coverage. It would have been helicopters flying everywhere, tents set up in their front yards. It'd have been
They
everywhere.
were.
But because because they would have taken the advantage. Also, they're not going to miss the opportunity to have the G violence conversation, and they want to try to do that. They never missed that opportunity. They would have utilized that. But because it was a black person, they don't. So I think it works the opposite when it comes to the violence in that scenario. So it worked against. So it's like it's always this pick and choose thing. We can make the white man look bad, but don't shine this light on this situation because it doesn't fit the narrative. We could run
See
with
that?
it.
That was
See
so
that?
disingenuous.
And
That was
also,
so disingenuous. Go ahead,
as
Rowdy.
we were speaking,
Michael.
probably I think 3 people died in one particular city this weekend. 3 people. You guys ain't talking about that. Because that
It's just an international
Because
flight.
What are those 3
When is
people?
it?
What are those 3 people?
so
What are those
again,
3
so
you're
people?
fucked up city.
so Admir, see,
My
this is
city?
what I was
You
saying.
said my
One
city?
sec.
Wow,
Okay,
that's
well,
crazy.
right now we're gonna let Rowdy reply, please and thank you.
See, Admir, this is what I was
I'm gonna make
saying.
room.
There is a market and a need to say, oh, well, black people are getting away with stuff. We are under attack. And this is exactly, that's why I didn't say shit. I let it go because this is the need. Because what Danny's point was, however media leans, were conservative, liberal, neutral, the fact they don't actually broadcast anything in the black community is the problem. They did not broadcast it because, we can't let black people look bad. It's that whole reverse racism bullshit argument that they're resting on we can do this shit because we're under attack. The oppression Olympics. They're playing in the oppression Olympics, and that's why this whole argument, Ed and Admir, peace is the ambassador of victimhood mentality. He is the little ambassador of it. And when we have conversations about this, and we've had a really educational and intelligent conversation for over 2 hours. I was able to do my laundry and vacuum and not cuss anybody out. But now the whole temperature have changed because somebody came in the room and said, what about black people? What
Can I say
about
something,
them?
please?
No, y'all
Can I
missed
say
the
something,
whole
please?
Hang on,
point. You missed the
Jason.
whole point. You're just not smart enough.
No, can we
So
all?
why
Rowdy is gonna.
So your punk ass
Rowdy
yelled
is
about
going to
people
finish. Then we're
interrupting
gonna go
you
DJ
because
Ed.
you're the main
Rowdy,
one interrupting people
DJ
because you
Ed.
don't want what people say get heard. You want to play the victim, and then when other people talk, you do the exact same thing your punk ass whine about. So again, the clear example that we've had people of different perspectives and ideologies having an educational debate and discussion about racism and crime and things like that. But there are people invested. Certain people invested in not solving the problem and say, we're victims too, so we don't have to worry about what you got going on because we're victims too. We get racism too. It's the oppression Olympics. Now I have landed.
I said
Rowdy,
D.
to peace,
said-
right?
I
You brought
said
up
D.
Chicago, right? I want to
Hang
say this
on.
about Chicago. I want to, because he said some shit in the comments when I be in certain people live about Chicago, the weekends, right? Did some shit happen? Yes, it did. It was only like maybe 2 or 3 people that got unalived. But the way you guys sit there and say, like, you said it's 24 people. No, it fucking was not. Shit happened. I am so sick and tired of Republicans or white people saying that Chicago's a dangerous city. It's fucking not. That narrative needs to fucking stop, man. It really does.
Okay, DJ, thank you.
No, it wasn't even fucking 7. I swear to God, you in fucking Texas. I live in the goddamn city. I'm amongst this shit every goddamn day.
Shaky, I can do Houston. I mean, if that makes you feel better. I mean, I can do
I don't give a
Houston.
shit
Damn,
about.
Shaky, why are you so upset, bro?
We can pick another city. I mean,
Can we let DJ go?
Everybody's been up here being upset. I guess shaking.
But what I'm saying is, this the narrative
I
about
do
my
have
city.
like
No, it's the narrative about my city that is so terrible and it's dangerous when its reality is not. Does shit happen? Yes. It happens everywhere.
Shaky loves Chicago more than he even cares
Yeah.
about the race.
And I love that
got it
Shaky
out,
loves
Shake.
Chicago.
Let's move
Don't
on.
talk shit about Chicago in front of Shaky. Please
Don't do that.
This is a Chicago safe place live. I apologize for bringing up O Block earlier.
No, and you know what? And I don't give a shit. I don't even go over there. But it's not as bad as people. The fuck social media like O Block. I don't even go over there because shit can
Crime
happen,
rates
right?
have been going down.
I don't go there.
For sure.
Are we
Fuck
going to
that
move
shit,
on?
man.
Okay, I think, yeah, but I did say DJ and then Ed, and then I guess you, Devin.
Go ahead, DJ.
Yeah, so I'm gonna make this short and sweet, to the point. Dana just right after this dropped me down because I don't want to catch a band. Y'all white men are fucking savages. Y'all animals. Y'all the most violent people in the fucking country. The reason why we have a schmopioid epidemic is because of y'all. Y'all lead in every violent crime in this country, right? So y'all want to sit here and point the blame at my community. You want to sit here and when something bad happened in my community with my people, sit here and realize that the reason why the cartel is in business is because of y'all. It's because of your demand. Y'all never, ever take accountability for your people. This isn't smoke to white women. I don't give a fuck about that. This is for white conservative men.
Oh,
Y'all
you got
always
you got
yeah.
reported. You got reported.
Jesus.
Please don't report people.
Right, sir. Hey, I wanted to
You're
talk
not
to
gonna-
I just wanted
Admir.
to. Oh, I
I
just
wanted to
wanted
talk
Ed
to
was
Admir.
next, and then you, Devin. That's how we.
Oh, my fault. My fault.
Oh yeah, I just wanted to. I understand what happened right there between y'all and Peace was ugly, but like I don't want to like throw the baby out with the bathwater because there is a semblance of the point there about how the media operates, and I also understand that the media could be viewed as primarily white. But like, yes, the media and therefore America has an obsession with pretty white women, but blonde white women, rich blonde white women, to be 100% accurate. But at the same time, people can't name a white man that was unarmed and shot by a cop. Like they do this for ratings, just like down the line. They do this because they know that they get ratings with Gabby Paterno. They get ratings with George Floyd. Like these are the things that they cover, and they cover them on purpose. And I think one of the reasons they do that is
I'm back, hoes. Y'all can't shut me.
to facilitate separation between people on the whole.
And Ed, why is that? Like, why is that
I just
that they
said
do
that. Well, because they want us to be fighting. They want us to be able to find somewhere to point a finger.
Do you know, Ed? Do you know it's so many people that's moving to
Devin
fucking
was
Chicago?
next, DJ. I thought Devin was next.
I just want to say this. Do you know it's so many people that's moving to Chicago, but we're a dangerous goddamn city? But you moved to my fucking city, but we're dangerous. Why come to a place where you think is goddamn dangerous? Be honest. Talk to me.
Ain't nobody moving.
Why are people doing that?
Okay, I think Devin was next. I don't know if anybody else.
Yeah, this is for Peace and Admir. So what we do is we keep compartmentalizing issues. We recognize that the dominant society drives these industries. We recognize this is not right, but our selective anger is towards marginalized populations instead of the overall system. This is what I was trying to tell you earlier, Ed. Like, it is that type of tacit agreement, that approval, that allows racism to be perpetuated. Because instead of acknowledging that shit is fucked up. Let's fix it. What you guys do is try to find a way to be angry at black people for something that they've individually done. I'm not saying you personally. I'm saying as a group. Because
Okay.
remember, you can't separate yourself as an individual, because when we're talking about race, there's a group of y'all. You understand what I'm saying to you? And then you see things like peace comes up. We're having a perfectly good, positive conversation. Even if there was disagreement, it didn't escalate to that shit. You know what I'm saying? Even it got
But yeah,
heated when it
Devin,
was
Chicago's a
Admir.
bad
With
city.
Admir, stop, Jake. Admir, even when it got heated with you, it didn't get to that. So that's what I'm saying. You guys got to understand that you're connected to people like that. Your job should be to infiltrate their communities and have a conversation with them. Like, we're not the ones that you need to talk to. Like, we can handle Chicago. Like Michael
Right.
said, we protest all the time about our communities. I think y'all need to focus on
Exactly.
yours, because at
Mhm.
the same
Right,
time, you
right.
would be able to reduce the smug addiction that goes on in your community if you were just to focus on that. Because unfortunately, racism is expensive and detrimental to all of us. Period.
No, and I agree. Like, yeah, I agree with the abstract, but I also think that there is like a reactionary aspect to it. Like things like, and I'm not saying that there isn't a reason for it to be this way, but things like actual white collectivism in America is immediately demonized, even if it has nothing to do with othering a different race. If it's just like we're a group of white people that want to get together, we want to hang out together, we want to be white people together, and on the opposite end of that, it is praised for every other group. And I think a lot of people, me personally, I don't really care, but I think a lot of people can take that wrong, and I think that does lead to a reactionary response.
And it's because it's a blind spot,
It
because
should.
that's where it's because it is actually. I'm gonna address two things you said.
Well, fuck bleach.
It's because it's a lack of understanding.
Go ahead.
It's a lack of understanding. The first thing you said was about the media just do it to stir it up, not even acknowledging the legitimacy of what was done, because you don't experience interactions with authority as a black person or a person of color or a minority. So your experience with the police just for being white. I have experiences. DJ have experiences. Devin has experiences of with authority from police to the other side, employers, that it was a way that it was handled just because we were black.
Hey,
And
Rowdy.
you can't. On 1 second, I'm in the middle of something. I'm not. 1 second. Thank you. And you will never understand that blind spot because you don't move in the world as a black person or part of a minority. I have a double whammy because I am in the LGBTQ community as well. So you as a cisgender straight man will not experience something that I experienced that is something unique to the LGBTQ community in operating and going to get housing or doing this or doing whatever. So when you say that it's just the media making money, you're not valuing and you delegitimizing when we actually do protest and saying, oh, you just doing that just because NBC need to make some money. That's what you're doing, and it's infuriating. You're not doing it on purpose. 1 second.
Yeah.
I'm saying it's a thing. So don't take it personally, but it's just that when you say that, I'm telling you that's what you are doing. And the second part is that we don't care if y'all want to get together. We don't give a fuck. We want to be left alone. So when white people get together, they get together to either harm minorities and black people or to refuse things. We actually gather for protection. That is celebrated. So Ed, was HBCUs created to exclude white people?
No, not that I
It was
know of.
done it was done because we couldn't go to predominantly white institutions. So when we actually group ourselves, where we have things, Black History Month, it's not that we don't like white people, is that we want to acknowledge and put forth our Black history that's not being told, just like with the Amber Alert. That's not the Ebony Alert is not to, let's exclude white people. Is that this is not being told in the media, no matter what their leanings, they don't tell things that are actually for the Black community unless it's about crime. That a lot of stuff. So I'm just letting you know that.
Before you go, Ed, I wanted to say one thing, and then after when Rowdy's done, and then I want
and I'm gonna let.
Can I say my piece after
No,
the fact?
Jakey, you got away, and I'm not trying to be mean.
So I just want to say,
I guess it's cool.
Just be careful when you say that, because what you're implying and how it lands is that Black people get led by the nose and get made to be angry, and that the real thing is really not a problem. We know who's the problem. We know racists where we see them. We know problem situations we see them. It's literally, we exist in it day to day, and don't minimize that experience.
And I just, I want to make it abundantly clear that when I brought up the media and how they portray X and Y, just as I'm sure you understand that the things that happened to Elizabeth Smart and Gabby Paterno and JonBenet Ramsey are important things that were horrible things that happened to people. And to the same end, I think that these protests against these actions are important to people, and they would exist without the media putting a microscope over top of them. I was just talking on why the media puts a microscope over top of them. Like, without a profit, there is no incentive for people to cover them on such a wide scale. I'm not saying that they're not important. I'm not saying that they aren't earnest or anything like that. And to your second point, I would say, no, I agree. I agree that over history we have seen Black Americans go out of their way to create their own spaces, and those spaces get breached by people just out of the state of being assholes, for sure.
And again, why is that? Why you want to disturb our peace because you're white? No,
Hold on,
everybody else had their hand up.
Hold on. No, what we need to correct is the fact that Black people don't go out of their way to create our own spaces.
That's what I'm saying.
We go out. Hold on. We go out of our we make our own spaces because we're forced to. We have to go to HBCUs because we're forced to. We have to live in predominantly Black communities because we're forced to. We're pushed into certain corners of states because we're forced to. White people write covenants and laws and attach it to legislation to disenfranchise Black people. That's the entire reason why we have the things that we have, because we've had to fight for every fucking right that we have in this country. Literally, there was a time that we weren't even considered fucking people. Ed, fucking peace. So y'all want to sit here and pussyfoot around and say, wow, I totally understand. No, y'all don't give a fuck about us. Y'all don't even give a fuck about y'all own people. Because if y'all did, we wouldn't have all these schools have holes being put in them. We wouldn't have the disenfranchisement. We wouldn't have to have the Crown Act. We wouldn't have to have legislation put in place to protect Black people. That's the entire reason why legislation is put in, is to protect us from y'all. Otherwise, we wouldn't even be people. We wouldn't even be out of slavery. If it wasn't for Black people fighting and escaping slavery, it wouldn't happen. Y'all don't want Black people in this country, and y'all don't want any kind of diversity. It proves it in every fashion, every avenue, every corner of this fucking country. So just tell the truth, bro. Tell the truth and
Like
stand on your shit.
aggressively boring.
Hey, can I say one thing just real quick before I think Peace was next? But like, because I think Ed was saying Rowdy and DJ's point being is like there has been like where black people have been excluded, so they've been forced to make their own like spaces. But then like I think Ed was also kind of alluding to the fact that like by choice sometimes people like get together and hang out and stuff, and it's frowned upon with white people. But the reason sometimes people choose to get together too is just because there's a shared culture. There's like a shared culture. And do you think that there is definitely a shared culture amongst black people, American black people in this country, right? But do you think white people as a whole, because you are white, do you have a shared culture? Do you get what I mean? Like, is there that shared, do you kind of see what I mean, Ed?
Do you
Like,
not think that there's a shared culture?
just because you're white, no, there might be like subsets. There might be like a subset.
No.
You think white people as a whole within this
Wait,
country
do you
have a
think-
shared culture? Just because they're white?
I think there is a subset of an American white culture for sure.
No, there are subset. Like you could say, like most LDS people. Like you could say, like there are subsets of people that are mostly white that belong to a culture. There is not amongst white
No, 'cause
people
I think
a
that I can
shared
move-
cultural experience just because they're white.
No,
What,
because
you
I think
agree?
because I think as an Orthodox Christian, if I move into Salt Lake City, Utah, I would definitely be invited to the white cookout by the end of the week. Like, I don't think like
No,
the
LDS people
subset
can be very no. LDS
Yeah,
people
but I
can be
think that
very
that's
cliquey and
universal.
very exclusive. No. So no, I would say no. But the
White cookout.
let's just say an LDS barbecue or something like that, family home eating.
Oh.
But
White cookout
Potato
is
salad and
crazy, yeah, man.
raisins.
yeah, no, but I don't think. But like, no, there isn't a shared cultural. Like by culture, I mean like traditions, music, holidays, etc. that white people all have. No, I don't think there is. I can't really think of
white,
that.
Dana.
What?
I said you
Just
hate
because
being
they are
white.
what? Ed?
Hey,
You
Ed,
hate
I think,
being white.
well, Ed, some of that stuff
I mean,
is
there are like some
disingenuous.
subcultures within the white community, but no, not just a common culture amongst that. I don't know.
Because how many black people you see skiing when you go? Right,
A
right
lot
up
of
the
black
street
people
from
ski
hold on.
snowboard, and again, that's just a
Ton.
misconception that you don't know what you're talking about.
Well, right,
They do.
right up the street from my house, they got like little lakes that the white kids be jumping off the rocks and into the water. And I mean, it might be 40, 50 kids out there, and you might see 3 or maybe 4
But the
people
reason
of color.
being, but the
So,
reason
so
being
no, what
that
I was saying that no, I was just saying that to say the piece. Like he says, it's shunned upon when white people have spaces. All spaces are white, bro. Like I just don't. I mean, saying it to Ed, I don't understand what you mean by that. Like it's shunned upon if white people have a space. No,
yeah,
if they
peace
have an
listen.
illegal space, like if you call jobs spaces, yeah, that people would have a version of that. But other than that, motherfuckers ain't work. I mean, if you want to go hang out with somebody, we don't care. Why would we care?
I think Peace was actually next because he had
I
his
This
meant
this
Ed.
is
I was
all
talking to
this
Ed.
is all so ridiculous. To think that white people, just because we're white, we're all the same, we're a monolith, we all hang out together. That's insane. I know a ton of white people that I wouldn't hang out with ever, that I avoid. That to me is ridiculous. Now, if you're white, are they going to invite you to to the
Well,
barbecue
Ed said
initially?
it.
Maybe
Ed
so.
said
I
it.
know, but maybe so. And then they're going to realize, oh, you're a what? You hang out with what? You do what? Okay. There's not going to be a second invite. They're going to realize we don't really have the same belief system, maybe, or the same religious beliefs, whatever. And then people start to segregate. We are not just all dangerous, crazy white people that all think the same and act the same. That's ridiculous. And I want to defend myself on what I said a minute ago. Because when I came up here, I want you guys to, if you're being honest, I came up here, to challenge her, because my days of sitting back and listening to this bullshit, it's over. It's
On
over.
the internet
No,
piece
hold
of
on.
me
No,
Let
I'm
him
just
finish.
you would
hold
say
on.
Please let him
shit.
finish.
Even
Please let
now,
him finish.
even now, I came up and I just said, hey, I wonder if you can name somebody. Can you name somebody? You know what her first response was? Shut up, white man. Nobody's talking to you, white man. Nobody's but she attacked me. You guys praise that in the
No,
chat.
you attacked
You
us.
shut up,
You
Devin. Shut
attacked
up.
us with your
Bullshit.
Shut
microaggressions.
up.
Go ahead and
Hold on.
whine. Go
Shut
ahead.
up, guys.
Victim
Shut up.
mentality.
Let me finish.
Victim
Even now,
mentality.
even now, you
Get
can't shut your
victim.
mouths.
Yeah,
Even
victim
now.
mentality. That's what you want to
Shut
do.
up. Let
That's
me
what
let
you
me
want to
talk.
do.
Peace,
Let me
I'd
talk.
like to
Dana, I
Yeah,
didn't
go ahead
interrupt
and
you
do
at
it.
all. I
Go
raised
ahead
my
and
hand
do
for
it.
10 minutes.
Peace,
Go
I'd
ahead,
like
let
to
Peace finish off.
apologize.
Go ahead, Peace.
Let me
And
let
then
me say
go
this.
I
you.
just
No,
wanted to
you don't say
apologize to
anything.
you.
You don't say anything.
Let me
Y'all be
That's what
quiet.
he wants.
Peace,
Y'all be
allow
That's
Peace
quiet.
to finish.
he's
yeah.
getting his
You
calm
you
out.
can have it.
He's
Shut
shooting
up.
his shot.
You can have
And
it.
of
I just want to say.
course,
I
the
just want to say
pervert's
this
got
to
to pay
Dana
for
real
it.
quick.
Yeah.
DJ, will you
Shut
please
up,
let
His
Peace
DJ.
shot.
finish?
Shut up,
Because I
Yeah.
let
DJ.
you.
Let me just say
Please.
this to you
No,
real quick.
DJ.
Yeah. Shut up, Peace. Hey,
Yeah.
No,
Okay. You
DJ.
guys are
Shut
making it
up.
really hard for me right now because
I'm
I just
trying.
said, "Can we let Peace finish?" And you know damn well, DJ, that I advocate for you to get to finish too.
Absolutely. And
Okay.
they shit all
So
over your
just
live.
finish, Peace. Just finish. Okay, go
So
ahead.
the bottom line is I came up and yes, I was challenging what she said because I was trying to make a point as well. I didn't come up calling names, didn't come up trying to be combative. I was like, can you name somebody? And I was trying to make the point. Ed put it in better words than I did. He put it in better words that the point is the media does what they do. They have their fucking spin. They want to turn it a certain way. You guys think we're trying to point out that we're
Dana,
being
fuck this
victimized.
shit.
We're
Fuck
not
this. I
trying,
sit
we're
on your
not
panel.
trying
I
to
sit
be,
on mute
we're
the
not trying
entire
to be,
fucking.
we're not trying to be victimized. You got to stop,
Okay,
DJ.
stop. Hold up for a
Let me
minute.
say this real quick, and I'm a
No, you got to
this is
stop. You and Rowdy
pussyfoot.
always do this.
Dana,
Dude,
I sit
stop.
on mute all the time on quiet.
I've literally had my
We
hand up
sit
for 20
here
minutes.
and we're quiet. I'm quiet. We sit here, black people sit here minding our fucking
Oh my
business on
gosh.
this goddamn internet all the time. And these white motherfuckers come on this
Hey,
goddamn
listen to
internet
that.
and call us
Listen
the
to that.
goddamn hard fucking ER
Not
every
us.
goddamn chance they get. And this fucking white sensitive motherfucker
Not
want to
us.
come on the internet and act like a sensitive little bitch. Check that shit. All right, I'm gonna drop because I'm gonna get a violation.
So Dana.
No, no,
So
no, 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 no,
again,
no. Y'all aren't
so
going to do this.
again,
Y'all
so
not going to do
again.
this.
So yeah, you come on in the fucking room and running.
So just let me finish. I
You
sat there and
trashy
listened to you
bitch.
guys. Just let me
Running, yes,
finish.
run the room. You gotta center the whole room around you, peace. Center it.
I
Go.
talked for
Go, bitch.
45
Go,
seconds.
bitch. Go. Go, bitch. Ho.
All
Go.
you've done
You
is
wanna
talk
center
about
it around?
sexual stuff, you
You
weirdo.
want it. Go. Center it. Go.
No,
Go.
that isn't all that Rowdy does. Can we just?
No, that's what he just did. He come up, started talking about me shooting my shot.
Let it
He
go.
started
Go
talking
do
about
this shit. Go
gay
ahead and
shit.
do it. I
Stop
can
it.
beat
Just
you.
let me
I
finish
can
my
beat you,
point.
ho. I can beat you, ho. Go ahead, because you're gonna talk about 20
Listen
minutes
to this shit.
complaining
Listen to this
about
shit.
you ain't got
You
shit to
guys
do.
have no
Just
Jesus
finish off what you have
Christ.
to
You
say,
fucking
and
the
then Rowdy, you
live
can
up, bro.
respond. Peace, just
So
finish it off.
Dana, this is
I'm not.
what happened. This
Hey,
is
look,
what
now
happened.
Rowdy just
He
goes
won't,
on for
yeah.
5 more
So
minutes.
exactly.
Just be
Because I
quiet. Let me
respect
finish,
her room.
Rowdy.
Because
Show a
I
little
respect her
self-control,
room.
dude.
I
Show a little
respect
control.
her
Hold on.
room
No, you
because
don't. You
literally,
wouldn't even let me finish my statement.
So you have
I've
been
sat
doing
here
this
on
shit.
mute for
So
5-10
again,
minutes
you
while
didn't
you
do
guys
shit.
talk.
You didn't do shit. I was actually supposed to
Rowdy, be
close,
quiet and let me
but
finish.
I'm
She's
not
asked
gonna
you
let
3
you. I'm
times
not
now.
gonna let you. I'm not gonna
She's
let
asked
you
you 3
lie.
times.
I'm not gonna let you lie on Danny.
Shut up, Rowdy. You got to let me
Okay,
finish.
I don't want people using the mute button, and you guys know that.
Tell
Okay.
him to please stop or I'll just drop.
Okay.
So
You
again, Dana, get control of him. He wants to be the victim so he can do whatever he fucking wants to do in this room. He comes in here and plays the fucking victim. Ed has been in here.
No, we aren't dropping people. Stop doing that shit. Stop.
Yeah,
The
Ed
fuck is
was
going
in
on?
here and Admir too, and we ain't been agreeing, but it didn't get all like that. Like, Peace got to
Dana,
chill. He's
I'm
a
a complete.
baby.
So what he wants to do, he has done it in Levito's live. He wants to come in the room and center himself and make it about him. And because no one was arguing, no one was doing the race thing, no one was doing anything, he had to come blow it up. So he
I
came
sat
up
with
with
my
it was
hand up the
Peace,
obvious.
whole
let
time
Rowdy
y'all were
finish, and
talking.
then I'll let you
Shut the
go.
fuck up.
Please.
You is a little bitch. So when he came up, he already had in his mind he was going to be antagonistic. So she said, "No, I'm not doing that." Then, so he just changed the story that she's there. Oh, I'm not gonna do it, white man. So her response was, "No, I'm not gonna do it. No, I'm not gonna do it. No, I'm not gonna do your work for you. No, I'm gonna do your work. I'm talking to the other people. I know I'm gonna do it." So when he kept antagonizing her, that's when she met him with the same energy that he wanted to do, and then he plays victim, We see it every fucking day. Everybody up here, even Admir, so I guess Ed left. So again, he did exactly what he wanted to do. He wanted to destroy the live. He wanted to center it on him and then claim the victim that everybody talks over him and drops him and mute him. So poor white man, like I said, Admir, there is people invested in a victimhood mentality. That's what I want to say. Now, you're not going to sit up here and lie on Danny because you wanted to be the fucking victim. Now, you got the floor. Be the fucking victim, you hoe.
Thanks, bitch. That's the first name I've called. That's the first name I've called. I want you to understand that, Danny.
Oh,
You
stop
know that.
crying. You
I
called it.
Oh
Move
my
on.
God. Oh my gosh. These guys cannot fucking help themselves.
You
Can I
called
just
somebody
kind of
name
weigh
and
in on what I'm
disqualify
pretty
it.
good at reading situations and pieces. This is not, I do think sometimes people give you a hard time. I get that people antagonize you. I'm not going to deny that. I'm not stupid. But in regards specifically to Danny, there's a history because last time you were on the live, you and I kind of got into it because you called her a white woman, I think, just out of the blue. You were a little bit of antagonistic about you.
Yeah, I remember that. I remember
Please
that.
allow me to finish. Will you guys stop? I'm trying. I don't want to be interrupted. And so, of course, she is going to feel a certain kind of way because you did do that out of the blue. She did feel a certain kind of way. And then you came up here and you did kind of interrupt her a little bit. And like, you did interrupt her a little bit because you were like, can you name one? And she was just trying to get her point across. Like, because I know sometimes when I'm trying to get my point across, I just get pissed off when somebody cuts me off because it fucks you up. Like, it causes you to lose your train of thought. That's kind of what happened. But I'm not, but Peace, I'm not so stupid as to not realize that also people antagonize you. But sometimes you will take it out on the people that are actually antagonizing you. Like, you will take it out on me.
No. Listen, I'm not going to say I'm innocent. There's times that I come up here and I'm ready to go. But the thing is you heard, I come up here and whether it's, forget the Danny thing, I come up here, I raise my hand. You see my hand. You know you do. And then you'll acknowledge me. And then there'll be 3-4 people. Rowdy will go twice. Someone else, DJ will interrupt and be allowed to go. And then I'm like, finally I get 30 seconds in because they don't like the content of what I'm saying. They got to start calling me out and start running their mouth. They can't just sit back and listen and then rebut. I'm not here to cause problems. I'm here to push back. I'm going to push back if I think what's saying is not agreeable or if I think it's bullshit. You don't have to agree with me. But I think I've got a point. Ed had a point.
Yes, but Peace, great. And I'm not trying to cut you off or anything, but I just like, once I get, I'm just sort of, my mind thinks quick, and once I get something, I just don't. I acknowledge that sometimes happens, but specifically, will you acknowledge specifically what I said in regards to Danny? What happened then?
Danny and I have a little bit of history, yes.
Will you acknowledge that the way you treated her on the last live, because I know Danny and she's not a disrespectful woman. So do you understand why when you disrespect somebody who goes out of their way to be respectful, then they have a right to kind of have an attitude?
She got mad at me on the last live, cussed me out, and then I said something to her. Yes, we had it.
No, that isn't what happened.
You called her a white woman first.
No, because I'm not an unfair person. No.
I don't think Danny's the one I called a white woman. I called her a
Yes,
BS.
it is. It was her, and I have a very good memory because I have to be
Why would I
kind of remember stuff. I know that is
because she was just being dumb.
Yeah,
you goofy.
That is kind of what happened, but okay. Like
it was colorism. You're
okay. Regardless, I might have called her light skinned or something like that because she's again bashing white people.
So you're not black. You're not black. You're white.
I think it's, if I'm not mistaken, Peace, I think it was the day that Danny was sharing all of the work that she had done in the different states.
That's right. Yes.
He was triggered by her knowledge and all the organizations.
No, she got mad.
Yes, you were.
She was showing a bunch of stats, and I said, "Shut up, Devin." She was showing a bunch of stats, and I said, "You get a hobby," and that's how it started. It. Then we started going at each other. Yeah. No, and listen, I own that. I argue with people online. No shit, I do. And just like Rowdy comes.
Well, why do we have to have an argument about it?
Well, no,
you know what you're doing.
No, because I came up tonight. I didn't even realize that was Danny at first. I came up because I can't see the tiny box names. When I came up and I just said, "Can you name?"
You came to argue with people online.
No, the problem is you guys don't like pushback. You like to, just like DJ. DJ just went off on this whole anti-white bullshit. DJ just went off on this whole anti-white bullshit, and I'm not going to stand for it. You're going to get it back. Those days are gone. You're gonna
we
get
don't
it
get
back.
we
You
don't get
say
trailer
dumb
trash
shit, I'm
pushback.
coming back.
We
Who you
don't
calling
get trailer trash
Who you calling
pushback.
trailer trash?
You trash
You calling me
trash.
trailer trash, gay boy?
Yes, yeah,
Are you?
yeah.
You gonna call me trailer trash,
trailer.
gay boy?
Oh,
You
yeah,
heard him.
yeah.
Okay, no,
Yeah,
we
that's
aren't
right.
doing this
You
anymore.
gotta go.
Okay, we
Yeah,
aren't
that's
doing
right.
this.
You
Watch
gotta
your mouth.
go,
Watch your
Dana.
mouth.
So,
Yeah. See, that's
so
what he wants. So again, see, Dana, you got to get his ass under control because we were having Admir had got pushed back. Ed got pushed back, but it was respectful. And so what he comes and does is actually he get his rocks off and gets his entertainment with his criminal ass brother sitting on the couch next to him. That's why you call you trailer trash. Because again, you want to come and hey, I'm a gay boy. I'm grown and sassy. It's Pride fucking month. What you want to say? You ain't doing that. You ain't saying that to me. So again, your attitude that he wants to come in rooms and that's his only act. That's all he has to contribute is to cause chaos. And sometimes people don't want to argue. Some people don't want to shake it up. We want to have intellectual conversation because he can't have intellectual conversation. The only thing he can do is antagonize people. Him and Bleach, that's their one and only act. That's all they contribute to alive. Now, it's not about their conservatism. It's about your attitude and how you come into the space. And everybody sees it. Everybody knows it. And so he just wants to come and then when we react to it, then we're being victims and I don't get to say anything. Well, Rowdy gets to go 3 times. The reason I get to go 2 or 3 times, because Dana knows I have shit that's legitimate and intelligent to say. When you start getting something intelligent to say, she will give you more opportunities to say it. But she knows all you're going to do when you speak is antagonize somebody. Ho. So the people that are actually have intelligent things to say get bigger bill to actually move the conversation along. It's not preferential treatment. And I was mopping, I've been cleaning, I've been folding fucking clothes on mute. And as soon as you come in, the whole live is trash. Just like you. And I said what I said. Now, next time when you do that messy talk over there. Now, when we had and Ed even said it, Dana, what did Ed say, Dana, in the comments? This is one of your best lives you've had.
Yeah.
Didn't he say?
I mean, I crashed out a little bit on Admir, but that's just because I know.
But no, but that's what it was. We did it, but it wasn't what this is. We all push back on him. Admir pushes back on us and is bringing up points. But the fact that little trashy, no good, not washing his ass, beer drinking piece of shit come up here just to antagonize people.
Yeah,
I don't give a. So next time you want to be a victim, now you got some more words to put on your victim list. That black gay man called you trash. Now whine about that hoe.
He said trailer trash too, Peace. Make sure you write it down.
Easy to say all that, bitch, when I'm dropped, isn't it? Easy to say all that.
Hey,
Because
and
you want to
Admir
sit
was
up here,
even yelling
you want to
this
sit up
shit.
here and fling your
And it
fucking
didn't get
vulgar
like this.
insults. You want to fling your vulgar insults. Dana doesn't really want to come at you about it. She didn't really want to go
Peace,
at you
we
about
don't
it.
want to hear
You want to
that.
fling all your bullshit, and then if somebody says one word, suddenly you guys are grasping your fucking balls and all scared and
But will you
hurt.
just admit, because I don't disagree again.
I'm stepping up to your
I'm
whole
sorry,
ass.
you don't have balls. You don't have
no
balls. You're right.
You don't have no balls. Go find them. I can show you mine. Go show yours.
I bet you'd like to. See, Dana, but you don't want to call that out. You don't want to
Hold
call out
up
the
for a
trailer.
minute. Stop for a
You
minute.
brought up balls, ho.
Yeah. But,
Yeah, Peace is that bad for the live.
yeah. So
Numbers drop precipitously.
I'm about ready to end it anyways. But I got stuff to do.
But you didn't even
But
let Flady cook.
oh yeah, I'm gonna let Flady talk.
I'm good. I'm
And
good.
lady.
I'm good. I'm good.
Yeah. But I will say this, and this is just, I really do, honest to God, try my very hardest to be unbiased. And I'm not perfect because sometimes it's hard to kind of keep track and it just is difficult when everybody's talking at once. I honest to God do. Peace, you can think that I don't, but I do. I do. Now, I get that it's hard when there are more people on the left that are trying to talk and you feel like you don't get to talk. I get that. You saying the comment, you gay boy to Rowdy, I fucking have told you I don't want that shit happening in my life. If you had returned in kind and said, oh, like, he made like a class, and I said this, and this is kind of why I wish that Ed was here, because that's what I said in T-Bone's Live. Like, there's some, and I don't know if I'm being logical about this, but the way I look at it is some communities are punched down on consistently. And so if you just keep punching, and this is kind of what our conversation started at, if there's a group that's continually being punched down on, and you just decide you want to jump down on the bandwagon and punch down on that community, to me that's different than just saying something like trailer trash. And there just is a difference. So I know to you, and I said that, and to you it seems like, oh my God, I'm being unfair. But they don't get free punches. And I never said if he calls you trailer trash, just be like, oh my gosh, take it. But don't punch down on a community that already is getting a lot of shit. That's kind of what I'm saying. If somebody's already getting a lot of shit, there's no reason to play on. But I'll be honest, I heard folks coming on at peace first, and then he gave it back. There is a certain amount of truth to that. Like, but I also think, what hasn't he got everyone what? And that's the same thing. Like, I don't, because I'm trying to logically think this out. I don't know if the white community is consistently being punched down upon, and society is everybody is just kind of punching down on the white community.
Dana, you know,
which is why
better
there's a
than that.
difference. That's kind of what this conversation started out with, though, is because Ed was calling me out for that. And
He's
that's how we have this
gaslighting you. Here's what's happening. The white men are upset because you are identifying with marginalized populations. No different than back in the day when a white girl dated a black dude. She was a ninja lover, had jungle fever, and they wanted to unalive her. That's all that's going on. They're gonna crash out for a couple days, but they ain't got nowhere else to go. They'll be back. They'll be back, and you just make sure that you maintain
What the fuck
order.
is your issue with me? Like, what the fuck is your goddamn
I told
issue?
you, a ninja lover.
No, he's just always making up fucking lies about me.
Dana, it's the same one he had with Libido. He thinks he makes the live. He thinks he gets invited to start and brings up the number. Your numbers, these numbers were higher when he wasn't here. So when Libido dropped them and took a mod of him for saying nigga, and gave him opportunities to take it back, he did, and he stood 10 toes down on it. He unmodded him, so then he were able to be dropped, sniped. So he got big. Well, you letting all the liberals snipe me. There's no opposition. There's no opposition. So he was telling Libido how to run his live. Now he's over
He
here.
said that, Rowdy?
Yeah. So yes, and then he was over here. Then saying that now he has a problem with
I'm
you.
right here. Don't talk about me. Talk to me.
I'm talking to Dana. I ain't got shit to say to your trash ass. So Dana, and now he wants to run your live and tell you how many conservatives to have, how many liberals to have, who do what. So if somebody that doesn't run his own lives always run around TikTok telling people how to run their lives. That's why he has a problem with you.
Yeah, so
Peace.
I don't.
Hold
Dana,
on,
I
hold
don't-
on, Peace. I've been quiet as well, bro. I've just got one question.
Yeah, go
Did
ahead.
you really say that?
Say what?
Was it? Hold on, Rowdy. Was it
Nigga.
hip or bleed? Yeah. Did you say the N word?
Yeah, I said the
Like,
N word
really?
on live. Yeah, I did.
Jesus fucking Christ, bro. Come on.
Do you want to know what? How I said it, or what'd you hear?
I'm just saying that the N word doesn't.
I'm starting to agree with
it came out of
DJ
my mouth.
now.
Yeah.
I think this is dangerous.
It came out of
just
my
let
mouth,
motherfuckers do whatever they want. Like,
It came out of
at
my
some
mouth.
point, you got to starve motherfuckers of the attention that they want when they start doing some deplorable ass
That's
shit.
what my point is.
Espe-
Rowdy has gotta
especially
stop
when there's
being
no
a platform.
proximity.
Yeah.
See, if we was close to this motherfucker, it'd be different. He can say whatever the fuck you want because I'm pulling up. But we can't pull
You
up
ain't
on this
pulling up shit because remember you're not
So-
violent. You're not violent. Remember?
Nah,
So-
that's
here's
the other
thing.
niggas.
I never
I
called
am.
anybody that. You don't know what you're talking about, Devin. So I
You
never
did.
called
You just
anybody
admitted
that.
it. You just admitted it.
I fired back and I said the word yes. We've been over this a bunch of times for the people that have been around me in these lives. That was said. That was talked about. It's been discussed at length. A lot
This
of people
is
lied and
weird.
said how it was said or what it was worth, but there's a recording of it. But it doesn't matter. I've never told Dana how to run her live. The only thing I have said to Dana or whatever, because whenever you guys used to sit here and bash me and bash Dana and all that stuff in other lives or whatever, she finally started doing her own thing or whatever. We had a conservative space. Well, now the conservatives, because we were always the ops. Well, now it's turned into I'm the op in Dana's space. Because now it's usually more of real. And I think that she would like to have more of a balanced panel, but you guys go because you think that you can take advantage of Dana. You guys come in and shit all
No,
over
that's
her
not
space.
true. I'm not a wimp. I
Here
don't
we
not
go.
helpless little
No, they
wimp.
do,
No,
Dana.
I'm
They
a
take
strong woman.
advantage.
I run my life like that. I'm
I know
not
you
like
do.
that. And I
I know
don't want
that
to
you
be
try.
portrayed as being like some kind of. No, it's not true. That's not true about me. I know
Can I
myself.
just have? Can I
Like
just
I'm not
have?
somebody who's afraid to speak my piece. I don't want to be portrayed as like this helpless little damsel in distress.
We
No,
know.
it's just not me.
We know.
And I just no, that's just not who I am. I know myself.
They're bullies.
I'm not going to be portrayed as some sort of innocent little helpless.
So hold on, peace.
Not me.
I'm just trying to
No.
understand
People don't take
something,
advantage of
bro.
me. That's not true.
So
No,
peace.
that
I'm
just
just
isn't
trying
true.
to
I just run
understand.
my life. Is it sometimes difficult to monitor the situation? Stay on top of it, sure. And I run my. I appreciate everybody that comes here. I don't. I do appreciate the people on the left that come, and I do appreciate the people on the right that come. It's not that I like having every. It's not like that. Not like that. Okay. So no.
Peace. I'm just trying to understand something, bro. When is it okay to say that word?
It's probably not. Probably shouldn't something that comes out of anybody's mouth on a regular. But the way that was said, it was in a heated
On a
argument.
regular.
It was in a heated argument. Well, except your
You
mouth.
said on a regular. Every once in a while, if you said Christmas and Easter, you'll be good.
Hey, I'm having a conversation now. Y'all be quiet. So it was said because this particular person, I won't bring him up again, but he was coming at me. He was making all these snide, bad comments, and he called me an N, and I said, I'm not an N. That's how it was said. It was reactionary. So, I mean, that's how it was said. And then everybody flipped out about it. They didn't flip out what he said about my children and what he said about me and all the nasty things that he said, because that thing doesn't matter. It only matters that the other word was said. It doesn't matter that somebody was saying some vulgarities or whatever about family and all that. That never was even talked about. Everybody's just, because I actually reiterated. And then, of course, it spread around TikTok that I called someone a
Wait. So can I? Did Levito?
Dana, I
Because
wanna hear you
Levito,
talk
when
your
he
way
told me,
out of
said that he
this.
did drop the person who talked shit about your family.
No,
Did he?
he dropped. I dropped him once, and then he dropped him. But yeah, he did drop him. He dropped him for 15 seconds, told him to take a lap, and brought him right back up.
So
And
either way,
he's a
don't you
regular on the
still
live.
think the response to anything heinous being said to you is that? Because even Ed said that just doesn't come to mind as a traded barb. So
No,
I
it
don't
wasn't.
understand.
And it wasn't.
and
And I
also
didn't
what-
call him that. I didn't call
I don't
him that.
understand.
I didn't
And
call him
I
that.
also,
Well, hold on.
and I,
So what?
Devin, I want to also put into perspective that Levito did unmod him instantly.
He did.
He brought Peace back up and talked to him 5 minutes. Peace, go ahead and take it back. Go ahead and take it back. Go. And he said, "No, I'm not."
No, and I still won't.
So he's mad about that.
No,
Well, at that point, Levito had to unmod him. He chose to do it. No one told Levito to do it. Levito said, "I can't have that in my live. I can't do that." That was Levito's choice as the content creator. And then after that, now he's vulnerable to snipes because in Levito's room, if you're a mod, you can't get sniped if you're on the panel. And when he comes up and be antagonizing, he gets sniped.
No, that's not
And
true.
now it's like it's not no longer a me. See, I was with Levito when y'all were calling him coons and stuff. See now it's all liberals over y'all taking over
y'all like
Levito's
him now,
live.
don't you?
Y'all taking on. See, I told you.
You like
I
him
told
now.
you what the gripe is. Look, Dana, that you got the same gripe.
Yeah,
Just
you like
leave you now.
no, and
Yeah,
I
well,
it's wrong.
everybody knows that liberal men, they go around these spaces, they take over, they
Oh yeah.
they impose their will, and then like soft moderates or people kind of in the middle, they let them take over. But I mean, it really doesn't make me mad because it's the only real power that they have in life. Like,
What are you talking
So-
about? Will you just stop being cliche right now? Like that is the most cliche. Oh, people ask. We're gonna be original. I just don't want to hear the same shit. That's like circa 2020.
well, no, I mean I don't listen.
No, you
and-
don't
and-
know what everybody's doing in their life. You don't know that. Do you know what everybody?
I mean, they come and then I mean, you have characters all over this app, and they come and they like it's like they want to
Wait,
like, get
hey,
something
can I
out of
just ask
being in
you a quick
control.
question? Excuse me. Do you think
Depends
the
on what
only
it-
people that try to like exercise power on the on TikTok. Like, yeah, because sometimes you have the mods that are like super like. But do you think it's only people on the left that do that, or is it just sort of like a social media thing?
Only on the left. Well, far
Well,
left.
left is a signal word. Left is a signal word for black. You know that, right?
Yeah, no, only in your head. Only in your crazy, deranged, low IQ
People
head.
that agree with
Just shut
with
out.
ABs.
Seriously, just shut up.
Well, I mean, this like
See,
Dana,
Dana,
you
right
can't
there.
say
Hold
anything.
on, Zach. Let me help this. I'm going to make a point to Dana. Right there. Zach comes up. See, he's fucking around a little bit. He's saying this stuff, and immediately, Dana, you're like, "Oh,
No,
Zach,
he's
come
not
on,
fucking
whatever."
around a little bit.
Rowdy and Devin just called me everything but a son of God, and it's all okay. I'm trailer park. I'm white. I'm all of these
Wait,
things.
I didn't call you
Nobody
none of that.
pushes
I
back
didn't call you
against.
none
Yeah,
of that.
we have to
It
like
just
it's like
tells.
this virtue signal.
Yeah.
I didn't
No,
call
it
you none
wasn't
of
the
that though.
name. I was just thinking the point. I was just thinking it wasn't. I
I didn't call you none of that.
Everybody's afraid to say anything to Rowdy when he comes up taking over lives, going through. Rowdy's a smart guy.
I'm
He's got
really
some
not
good
afraid of
points,
anybody.
whatever.
I cussed Rowdy out multiple times.
It's crazy.
Probably more than anybody else. Like, for
Rowdy
real.
comes up and tells me about blowing my wad and all this nasty stuff
for
and
an
get this dick
hour.
out of your mouth.
Yeah,
And then
for an
I
hour.
say something and then I'm the everybody freaks
Okay,
out. It's
I'd
just
like to
Oh,
say one more thing. I'm getting ready to start going live. Okay, Rowdy, you fucking banned before I even started. Michael,
oh my
you fucking
pearl.
banned
No one
before I
cares.
Oh
started.
shit.
Nobody cares.
Okay,
That's gonna
Nobody
end
everybody,
TikTok.
listen.
Oh
Virtue
no,
You're
there's not
allowed.
gonna be TikTok anymore.
Stephanie, you're fucking banned. Okay,
Who's gonna be in there? I mean, it's
if
just
you're
gonna
a
be boring
leftist,
people.
You
you
better not ban me. You better not ban me. I'll come over
no,
there
you're
and
you're
put
you're good. You're
seasonings.
good.
I'll put seasonings in your cabinet. You better not ban me. I know
Uh-oh.
Yeah,
that.
you're okay. All
No,
the
see,
rest,
ladies
leftists,
good.
it's an
Oh.
So what's gonna be? It's just
anti-leftist.
gonna be you guys just sitting, and like it's not gonna be anybody with a
And why?
personality or anything.
Peace is
Yeah,
getting mod powers.
it,
Who else is getting mod powers?
Dana, what he's not saying is
That's
their
it. Peace.
support
Peace is
group.
my
Is
only
their
mod.
support group.
Am I welcome to come, Zach, or no?
You can come, but I'm not giving you mod powers because you're
No,
biased as
I'm
fuck.
not gonna.
So
Hey Admir, you see who
Not
you
gonna be
used to
treated
be
like
with?
that.
This
I'm
used to
just
be
trying
your
to.
folk, Admir.
No, I'm just trying to figure out because I have gotten into heated battles with Devin's ass, with Rowdy, with Itchy, with Lip. I mean, horrible. I ain't never
Bleach will
said the
be
N
another.
word.
I'll have two
You know what I
mods.
mean? I ain't
Bleach,
never said nothing like
peace.
that. I
Admir,
just don't understand that.
I didn't call him the M word. I'm not saying it's any
No.
better.
You repeated it. You said
Yeah.
I ain't the N. Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
There
There is a different context.
to
Does matter
me,
in some situations like that. It does. It does. It's a difference. It would have hit different if I would have called him something, but I didn't. I just repeated back. It was like flow, boom, and I said it back. So I get it. Wrong, yes, but I'm not gonna sit here and ask for apologies on,
So
especially
you go
from people
wait.
that run
Do
around
you hear
saying it
what you're saying?
70,000 times a day
What
and calling us the
apology
shit
would
they
you
call.
be asking
See,
for saying the
admin,
N
I
word?
ain't saying it.
admin,
Ain't doing it.
that's it. That's the excuse. Like, cause they hear us saying it to each other,
No,
they
you
should
said
have
to
the
us too.
right. So yeah. So if we can say it, they should say it.
Yo, this is
See,
wild.
That's
not an
not the
apology.
point.
It's not
No,
an
that's not
And
the
apology.
then,
point. That's
yo,
not the
but
point.
Rowdy, then he said, I'm not going to ask for an apology.
Yeah.
And
Vito
he's
gave
telling
him.
us the impact of it.
I
Well,
said
Yeah.
if
offer.
you say it like this, it hit like this. If
I
you say
said
it like
offer.
this, it
Yeah,
hit like that. Like, how
yeah.
the
Yeah.
fuck do you know how it hit?
Because I'm a grown man that's been on around the globe a lot.
Okay, do you see what
Okay,
I'm
but let
saying,
me
So
Admir?
say
This who
this, and peace. I'm not
Admir,
piling
this who
on.
you was
I
with.
promise it's going to come across as this. I guess what I would say is that Levito is a black man, and if he feels a certain kind of way about the N word being used, he feels that kind of way. Like it's going to be something that's going to be more. He's going to be more sensitive to him
yeah,
than like something else because it affects
sure.
them. Like everybody has their shit. Like there's certain things that just like trigger them because of their relationship with that specific. Like he has, what I kind of see what I mean. Like so
Right.
that might be he's
Historically,
like, well, I'm a black man.
and
And like,
historically
to me, that word affects me in a certain kind of way.
and there's probably things that someone could call you that would hit you a different way. And I've got some things that I've been called on this app that hit me a different way. So, but obviously, I don't have this historical context, going throughout time. So, I mean, I think so. But does that mean it stings any less when they say some of the shit they say, whether to me or whoever or whatever? I typically just get
No,
mad
but
at
I
them.
would support your right if somebody said something to you, like let's just say somebody questioned your ability to be a good dad. And that's
Yeah,
just something that, like, I hate when people talk about like my teaching.
and they
I'm
do.
super
They do
sensitive about it, and
constantly.
it
They
really
tell me I
pisses me
touch
off.
my kids.
So
I'm with
everybody,
that. Yeah.
let me just. So if you decided that that's where I draw the line, like that's my thing, I'm going to unmod somebody who does that. Everybody has their thing. Everybody
Yeah.
has their thing, right? And I guess that's libido.
But I'm
He
not
has a
allowed to
thing.
be upset about my thing because it doesn't have the
Well, if you
historical
host your
context.
own, that's my point. If you host your own idea,
Yeah.
you have a
Yo,
right to
this
be
dude is a
upset about your own
That's what I'm
perpetual
idea.
saying.
victim.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Are you a
I'm making a point
Zionist?
to where if I say something, I'm not allowed to be
Is he a
upset.
Zionist?
This ain't about this. Ain't hey, listen, Devin, you ain't no fucking victim. Quit lying to people. You ain't no victim. So I'm
No,
not
I didn't
trying to
say
be a
that. I'm a
victim.
victim.
I'm not trying to
Are
be a
you a
victim.
Zionist?
But if you said any of this stuff to my face, you'd swallow your teeth. So the
Don't get my
same
life
way,
down, please.
the same way you were
Oh,
saying a
not
minute
me.
ago, the
Oh no,
same
you
way
going
you
to
were saying a minute ago, if I was close to you, you would touch me
That's
or
pretty.
whatever.
That's pretty. That's. Hey, listen. All my information is on my joint. Like I don't hide nothing. That's my real name. I put my phone number
No,
on my
that's great.
videos.
And that's
My
not a threat.
address is
That's
on
not a
there.
threat. I'm
Nice
just
All
saying
work,
that.
like
DJ.
in person when we're
Wait, did
talking
somebody
about saying
drop
things to each
DJ?
other. So the
You can
things that you
slide whenever. I would
yeah,
welcome the opportunity.
no, you don't want that. I
Welcome it.
promise you don't want that. But
Well, we ain't got to keep
whenever
talking about it online. Just
SCSA,
go
did
to
you
my shit
hang
and
on?
say, send me a
SCSA,
no,
do you
text.
care if
calm
I
down.
rotate you for DJ? Because I don't think
Calm
you
down,
care.
little guy. Calm down.
Huh?
Do you?
Oh no, no, drop me,
Yeah.
drop me. I just
Whatever,
want to
whoever
say
you
fuck
want.
you,
Sassy, and
peace.
stop dropping me.
I'ma drop you every
Stop
fucking
dropping me.
time. Anytime you say bigoted shit, I'm gonna drop you.
Then I'm gonna
Fuck
do the
you.
same to you. Stop it.
Fuck you. I'll
You don't
block your
run shit.
ass. I don't give a fuck.
Damn.
You guys got to quit abusing your powers just because you don't agree with me.
My
Yep.
wars.
Damn, Peace, you gonna take that?
No,
Listen,
I
I'd like to
have
say
to.
one
I
more thing,
have
then
to.
I've
I'm
got
a
to leave.
white man. I'm a straight white man. I have to take everything. Remember, we got to take
Yes.
it. Don't say nothing
Y'all
back.
take y'all
Don't
take
ever fight.
everything.
Don't say anything.
I
Because
don't
Y'all
according to
think you should
DJ,
take anything and not take anything
we're the
back.
y'all
worst
take
people on the
But
planet.
y'all
Dana,
take
According to
he
DJ.
doesn't.
everything
That
but
He
isn't what
he
I've
doesn't
accountability.
ever
believe
said.
that.
I've never said that because I don't
Y'all
think I
take
myself
everything
don't
but
do that.
accountability. How about that? You want to take
Yep.
some shit?
Yep.
Take
Take-
I'd like to say one more thing before I leave, then
Yeah,
I've got
go
to
ahead,
go.
sir.
motherfuckers is
I've
allergic
got
to
to go.
accountability.
Listen, this is
Motherfuckers start breaking out
obviously
and shit.
obviously I'm not gonna start going live because that wouldn't be near as satisfying. It's much more satisfying coming into these crazy leftist spaces,
It's just like a therapy
dominating
session.
dominating deranged lunatic leftists day in and day out in my spare time.
Oh yeah.
I am conservative terminator. I'm destroying leftist ideology, this thought. So no, and this is the way that it was supposed to be.
You can't really think.
One by one,
Boy,
down by
your
down.
brain don't even work good enough.
I just left the panel 5 minutes ago, and same deal, different story. I didn't realize Peace was up here, else I wouldn't have joined. I'm sure that he's fighting the good fight to decapitate you guys.
This why MAGA keeps saying they're no longer MAGA, but they're independents. Is that what is you're? Are you sure it's
Zach's trolling. I don't think he
leftist?
honestly believes it. Zach, do you honestly believe the shit you say?
Nobody
Or you
said
just
that.
got
Dana's
Absolutely,
MAGA.
Yeah, sure.
I believe everything, and I say like everything I say with conviction.
I'm gonna
Right?
keep it
That's
a
right.
bean, Dana. This is all
Stand on
your
your shit,
fault.
Zach.
You know
Probably. I just
why?
got blamed for yesterday's live too.
Because you refuse to talk about that horrible vote and this horrible man. He's hiding the files, punching down on E. Jean Carroll, dropping chicken nuggets on boats in the middle of the ocean. He's got a border peace where he's the perpetual owner, where it's a fucking sovereign organization with billions of dollars and is housed in Gaza. He has fucking Steve Witkoff and Jared Kushner making business deals in land that they don't own a blade of grass. Russia still jumping on Ukraine.
But
The
I do
I
call
group
it.
is moving into Lebanon. Not only have they G-sided Gaza, And the Palestinians, they're moving north into Lebanon. Our debt is outrunning our fucking GDP. Like, why don't y'all talk about that shit?
Wait, we don't talk about it?
That's why it's your fault, Dana, because you
It's
Because
all
I
it's all
we're too busy
propaganda
talking about
bullshit. That's
winning,
why.
buddy. We're too busy talking about winning, buddy. That's what we do over here. We win.
To point out also that it was just announced recently, like today or yesterday, that Trump's he wrote an executive order or some shit last year about the trans people, not allowing them to be in the military. Yeah, a federal judge just knocked that shit down today or yesterday or some shit.
Oh, well, I
So
haven't even
L
checked.
Trump.
Yeah, he's been
Checks and
taken off.
balances.
He got his name taken off the Kennedy Center. Did you guys see that?
Yep.
You know he's now
See,
headlining
this,
the
so
thing.
Zach, let me ask you something, because I've been trying to understand this, and I've been talking to several other people, so I just want to kind of hear your take on it. It's been a long-standing for the last 80 years that anybody who comes to the United States can apply for a green card and stay in the United States. How do you feel about Trump actually canceling that and saying, nope, if you want to apply for green card, you have to stay in your own country? Nobody?
Yeah.
What was the question? Sorry, what was the question?
No, I was asking Zach.
Yeah, I
It's
just
for
said
about,
my answer was so. Like, I mean, I don't
you
care.
don't have a problem with that?
Why do you?
Approval first? No, I don't.
Hold on, time out. So you don't have a problem of him doing things that have never been done?
No.
That's no? Huh. All right.
Just on the face, doing stuff that's never been trying new things isn't a bad thing. No, you can make the argument why this specific
He's
thing.
progressive. He's progressive.
Trump is the most progressive president we've had in a long time. Look at all the progressive things he's doing. Trump RX, Trump accounts, fucking finally shutting Iran up, trying to anyway.
Hey, how much money has the peace deal, the Board of Peace brought in?
Not a damn thing.
Progressive my ass.
Hold on, but not only that, but somebody correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't the $300 billion on the table to negotiate with Iran?
all of a sudden, Trump starts doing progressive stuff, and every liberal turns into a conservative. Like,
No,
this
hold
is
on,
the
but
answer.
no,
We
Zach.
just
We
need
all
to get
had
Trump to do.
Just so
every
you
bunch
know
of
single
what
one of us.
progressive means in regards to politics, they would say progressive would mean making progress towards a specific goal, and they would say equity and equality, so on and so
For
forth.
people.
So
For the
just
people, not
making
for
movement
yourself.
isn't progress. You have to be making movement towards a specific spot. Do you see why your
Hold
argument
on,
kind of
Dana,
falls
but
apart? Movement itself
Dana,
isn't
that's
progress. It
not.
has to be movement in a specific direction that you want to go.
But hold on, Dana. But then explain something to me, because
No,
anybody
I'm
who
just
voted
saying
for
that
Trump
progressive
had
shit
it.
is just bullshit.
No, I know,
Yeah,
but
what the?
anybody who voted for Trump, right, had a fit about this so-called what was it, $80 billion or no, $1.7 billion that Obama gave in cash to Iran. Now all of a sudden, nobody has a problem with Trump giving $300 billion of our money.
I think
You see
what would
where
be important, and I need to look into this because I was talking to somebody about it who's a Trump supporter. What would be pertinent is, and I don't quite know what would he get in return. So
well the
$300
return
billion,
is
but
we buy the trade off.
if they're giving up all of their uranium, all of, I don't really know, and I need to look into this. But from the person this is why I want to do research on it.
No, I'm
From the
saying
person I was
is the
speaking to, it's
300
going to
billion.
be a pretty good trade off. It's going to be a
No,
good trade off.
300
But
billion
maybe,
is to buy the rights to Strait of Hormuz.
yeah. Then it probably wouldn't.
But then again,
that's what I don't know. So that's why I'm just saying.
Yeah, but then
let me look
again, but then we're not on the same page. We had a fit when Obama did a little bit of cash, but now nobody's gonna have a fit, and everybody's gonna say, "Well, it's for the betterment of the country." Well, how the fuck is it the betterment of the country when $300 billion that you and I are gonna have to pay? Nobody's gonna bat an eye on that. They're gonna say, "Well, it's for the country." It's
people
good for
are
the
batting
country.
an
It's
eye.
gonna
Why
be
do you
all
say
there.
no? A lot of people are very upset at Trump.
Nobody on the right. Nobody's fucking upset
That's
about
not true.
it. Tell me one person that's upset about it.
Name one.
Yeah,
One
tell me
person
one
that's
person that you've
upset
heard.
about what
Yeah.
he's doing with
Yeah.
Iran,
No,
a MAGA
no.
support.
Hold on, Dana. Please don't do that. I'm asking you. Tell me a person that is upset that the deal that includes the $300 billion
Yeah.
of our taxpayer money. Tell me
Then I
one person
listened
that you know that's pissed.
to Econ Mike for one. I heard him talking about.
Econ Mike is not a MAGA or
He was
conservative.
MAGA. Econ Mike was MAGA.
He never was MAGA. He's a libertarian.
Econ Mike, when I
Yeah,
first
he's a
met him,
libertarian. He's never a MAGA.
I don't know if he's ever, whatever. He was fully on board with the MAGA agenda. Fully. And he would spend hours a day
I've
arguing.
known Mike forever, and he has never been for MAGA. He's always been a libertarian.
I don't know what he called. Again, this goes in. You guys like to get into the semantics of names, etc. Econ Mike, and I don't know if any of you guys, besides myself and Admir, know who he is. Supported Trump, voted for him.
It sounds more like you're in the semantics of justification.
What? No, it just doesn't matter. I've never
It sounds
going to
like
get
you're-
into what is this person called himself. He was, for all intents and purposes,
Yeah, but
somebody
that
who
sounds
voted
like
for
the
and supported Trump.
semantics of justification.
But for you to
my
say
man.
that, for you to say that there has not been a huge movement away from what Trump is doing specifically in regards to foreign policy is insane. There has been. Like, that just isn't
The
true.
people.
It's insane to call
hold on, Dana,
one person
Devin.
a huge movement, Dana.
I did. I
No,
mean, I
Dana,
know
the
people in my
people-
personal lives that I speak to. But okay.
Dana, the people that you and I know on the TikTok who are still conservatives or whatever you want to call them, Republicans and all of that,
Yeah.
everybody that you and I know about it, maybe one will say, "Yep, I don't want that to happen." Every
That's
single
not
one
true.
of them.
Almost
will
every
say,
MAGA
well, it's for the
supporter.
better.
Even, you know who I saw make a video? You know who I saw make a video calling out Trump? Was MOD. And that's when I knew that a lot of people were
Hold
talking.
on, I'm not talking. Hold on, but she
You
called him
said
out
everybody
for
that
not.
we know on this app is
Hold
not
up,
calling out
Dana.
Trump. I can't think of one MAGA person
I'm
that
talking
has not.
specifically on
I cannot
300
think of
billion. No. I'm not, Dana. You're not hearing me out. I'm
What?
not talking about what's going on. Where I'm specifically talking about the deal that will include $300 billion. That's all I'm talking. I'm not talking about the Iran thing and all that. I'm specifically talking about that because my claim is that when Obama, it's still brought up till this day. Well, Obama gave them $400 million in cash, plus he gave them 1 point whatever billion. Well, whose money was that? Little do they know that that money was already frozen, that the deal was made to unfreeze their money plus the interest of their own money. Now we're going to have to give 300 billion of our own money.
Wait, the
Nobody wants
300
to bat an
billion,
eye.
and let me ask Rowdy for clarification. Rowdy, would the 300 billion be our own money, or would it be money that the same that we owe them already? I thought it was.
To my understanding, it would be taxpayer money.
Okay.
I got to look, but because everything's kind of tentative, and this deal has been thrown back and forth. But that's my understanding. Let me look at verify.
Okay. Yes. So to be honest with you, Admir, I don't really follow MAGA so closely about the deal. The one person who I did hear speaking about it was MAGA Mike, was Econ Mike, whatever his name is. Econ Mike. I don't know. My guess would be that the same crowd that is critical about everything that is going on in Iran is going to be critical of this deal. And you know who that know who that crowd is. Go ahead.
Yeah, Dan, I just looked up that 300 building. What they're calling it is an economic, reconstructive and investment fund.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
it's
can call it
taxpayer
whatever
money.
the fuck they want. We know what it is.
But it isn't money that we owe them already, even though
No.
we obviously. Okay.
No, it's an investment supposedly, and I think
Well-
it's yeah.
So if you listen to Trump and Pete Hegseth, one of the things that came up from the Iranians, specifically with the Ayatollahs, is in order for them to basically let Strait of Hormuz go and everything, they want to be repaid for all the BOMs that we dropped. They want to get compensated for all of that. Now you tell me, who the hell is going to pay? Well, you and I.
Yeah, Iran. I'm reading it now. Iran is going to be a reparations package for war-related destruction.
Huh? Ain't that about a bitch? So we go in there. We're being told that these fucks supposedly have this uranium. Well, where the fuck is it? We're told that everything was decimated. We obliterated everything. Well, okay. Well, if we obliterate everything, why are you saying that they have this enrichment uranium that they can build a nuke within months?
No, I agree with you on that. And you have to acknowledge that
They got a problem with black people reparations?
I mean, this shit don't make no fucking sense, bro.
So do you want the
We were
truth
told.
now? Do you want the truth now? What's actually being discussed? Because what the truth is that $300 billion is not even on the table. It's being proposed, and that's what they're asking for. And that money would be set up in an international fund that would come from multiple countries, with the U.S., leading the pack as far as helping a distributor or whatever. That's what they're talking about. Because Iran is basically saying that one of the things hanging them up from a deal is they want they want money to rebuild. They want some money and help to rebuild what we've blown up. That's what they're saying.
So let's get into this real quick.
Wait, clarification.
Okay, so let's get in.
Wait, hold on, Admiral. Clarification. My question is for you, actually. You said that money that it was 300 billion or million.
Billion.
Would it be? And that money some of it is coming from you said our Congress and other. Can you go over that again? I just want you to kind of go on that.
So Iran has requested, as part of the negotiation talks of a peace deal, is that they be compensated for all the destruction of the U.S. bombing inside Iran, and that come to an amount of $300 billion to reconstruct and do that as a reparations package. So I don't know what other country that did not bomb them would volunteer to put in money. So it's going to be all of us. It's going to be the U.S. and Israel. Go ahead, Amir.
Wait, and y'all okay with that, Amir?
Hell, dude, I've been talking about this shit. Hell no, I'm not okay with that. Hold on, but you have Spain, Germany, France. You had Italy. You had the EU. Nobody wanted a fight in this. In fact, we had several allies that said, no, you can't use our airports. So what the fuck is peace talking about when all of these other countries who actually went in with the United States and with Israel? Nobody. Not a single other country. So who else would fucking pay for it?
So that man said it's not even on the table.
Multiple countries in the region have an interest.
You're okay with this? You're okay with the U.S. paying this?
Hold on. You guys okay with something? Or are you okay with us finishing the job? Because personally, I think we need to finish the job.
I'm not okay with none of this.
Okay. Well, yeah, but there is one. When I say finish the job, I mean completely beat them into submission to where there's a full and complete surrender, or they accept whatever deal.
It ain't gonna happen.
Okay, so if that's not gonna happen, guys, then how do negotiations work? And I don't want to give them. I don't want to go.
No. You know what? No. You know what he did, DJ. He negotiated with MAGA to make sure that they were just complicit in his bullshit, and they would move the goalposts
we're not going to leave shit on the runway. We're not going to go to the tarmac.
Hold on, peace.
Hold on. So for clarification, for the chat, right? Peace. You're okay with the United States paying Irania the whatever portion of the billions that we owe. You're okay with that?
No, not at all. No.
You're not okay? Okay.
No. I want to finish the job. I don't want to do a deal with them. I want to beat them into submission. That's honestly what
Why ain't you on the plane? Why ain't you on the plane going over that?
I want to do that.
Why you ain't on the plane to go over that, motherfucker?
I'm too old.
Well, you might want to sit the fuck down, shut the fuck up.
No, maybe not. Why don't you sign up?
Well, actually, though, to your point, so I'm reading an article. Excuse me. To your point, Admiral, are you still in here? You talked about Republicans not pushing back, but I'm reading an article.
No, I said, Dana, let's make it very clear. No. I said that the people on TikTok that you and I know have not pushed back at all. In fact, the ones that you and I know,
I don't really hang out with the whole.
Well, no, I'm just saying that you and I know, you know what I mean, just from TikTok, every single one has said, you know what, it's for the betterment of the country, because in the long run, it's going to help the country. Then I pose a question. Okay, well, if it's in the long run, tell me how long. Well, we don't know. So you don't. It's better. It's betterment for the country in a long run. But you can't tell me if it's going to be 5 years, 10 years, 30 years, 100 years. You can't tell me, because this is the same story that Dick Cheney told us in 2003. And then we stayed there for fucking 20 years. Thousands of American lives were lost. Trillions were added. And nobody knows nothing about it.
Where's that Doge check? Anybody got that Doge check?
I ain't never
Nope.
got that motherfucker. I wish I did. Maybe I can
ain't
pay
get a
Dana
check.
with that shit.
My check. I don't know about y'all, but I got my check. I got my
Yes, but
reparations.
in regards to
I love that y'all keep paying taxes. Keep paying them bitches.
in regards to the pushback, though, he's getting significant pushback from physical conservatives amongst his own party, and even John Bolton has been relatively.
Or it says
Dana's
our
right though.
sources. It says our sources say. They haven't came out and said nothing. They've been saying it behind the scenes.
I promise you, Trump has
what we
been
talking about,
pretty
y'all?
firm about they ain't getting any money. This is not something he wants. This may be what they're asking for. This may be one of the proposals. This is not something Trump wants to do. He does not want to give them money. He's literally spoke out against.
Why are you so excited?
But it's their money. But this is the thing. A lot of, like Dana said, a lot of Republicans are pissed off about this because, like even there's been a few articles of them saying like, oh, I'm not gonna vote on that, or like they're kind of like, what? Like, nah. Like I've seen them kind of express some some.
I ain't
I'm not
seen
gonna
none
go
of
full
them
on.
because they got to approve
I'd
it.
be all over.
They
And
gotta approve it.
that's why it's gone. It's not on the table anymore.
So, Peace, then let me ask you this. You said that you want him to finish the job, correct?
There's the job out there.
Yes, I do.
Okay. And what? Just real quick, what's the job? When you say finish the job, what does that look like to you?
They have. I really don't know, but they have to be. They have to be literally militarily depleted to where the point that they have nothing left to fight with.
No, why did y'all
I'm
vote
talking
alongside
about
people like this?
I'm
This
talking
is
about
crazy.
they can't defend their country. They can't defend, because you know what the other thing they said they want in this peace deal?
They can't defend their country, they wouldn't be defending their
Will you
country.
shut the
Cut
fuck
your
up
shit.
for a minute? He asked me a question. They want Hezbollah protected. That's the other thing. They want Hezbollah protected in this deal too. If you read on, that's what they're like, no, we got to protect them too. They got to stop messing with Hezbollah.
Okay, so let me just get something, because this is where I was hoping that you would go. See, this is the same exact rhetoric that we got when we went in and said we're going to go in, we're going to get Saddam, we're going to in and out within 90 days. 23 years later, we didn't do a damn thing. We couldn't deplete their men, we couldn't deplete their artillery, and in the end, what did we do? We gave them everything. We gave Al Qaeda to be in charge of the very same country that we were gonna destroy. So when you say we're gonna go in there and destroy them, Peace, do you not understand that you can't destroy an ideology?
Yeah.
How do you destroy an ideology?
So you can't, but you can just take out what they're going to fight with. That's the only thing you can do. You can't. This is not a country.
So you want boots on the ground piece, basically, is what you're saying?
No, I really don't want boots.
Well,
on the ground.
so what you're saying is that's what it's going to take.
Listen, guys.
It's going to take boots on the ground for them to do what you want.
But what
right?
you guys are I don't think so. But what you guys are talking about is you don't want to spend the money for the war. You don't want to spend the money to get out of the war. So you want Trump to talk peace. And when Trump talks peace, you say, see, he's Taco Tuesday. And so it's like, I don't know what you guys need to be.
They don't think he should have gotten involved.
You shouldn't have gotten.
We know that.
I didn't want him to go in the first place. Peace.
But we're
He should have
past that.
negotiated before he even thought about kissing ass.
Biden should have negotiated for 4 years, but y'all didn't talk about it.
What about? Wait, hold on.
Wait, hold on, TG, hold on, dog. Let me just
hold on. Let me just say this before you.
But why do we always have to go fucking Obama, Biden, and all? I don't give a fuck about Obama or Biden.
I didn't say
I didn't
Obama.
vote for
I said
Obama.
Biden.
Yeah, why don't I have to worry about fucking what Biden did?
All right,
Why
but
can't
here's
you and I fucking hold this motherfucker accountable because he told us that he's the greatest fucking negotiator of all fucking time, and yet this motherfucker hasn't been able to negotiate a goddamn thing. Tell me a thing that he has negotiated, Peace.
in
Tell me
60
one single
days.
fucking thing that he has
Yes, I'm looking it up
negotiated
right
that's
now.
gonna benefit the whole country, Peace. Go ahead.
What Trump's negotiated? You
Yeah.
talking about from a foreign?
I'm
well, I
talking
mean,
from a foreign. I'm talking domestic.
foreign
Tell me one
policy.
thing that he has. One thing that he has negotiated that is going to be a benefit for the whole country and not just certain people.
I'll tell you
ahead.
what. I'll email you a list. I'll email you an entire list.
Just tell me. Don't
Trump,
email me. Just tell me.
the RX thing. How many times? How much has he lessened? He's negotiated with what 6? I think drug companies now to make the favored nation program.
Fucking Christ.
Is that not? He's brought that down. He stopped what 6 wars. He's been in negotiations involving 6 different countries.
Hold on. Time out.
6 different countries.
Peace,
I mean,
bro.
We need
six
to do this, and you guys know it's that time. Or
You gotta leave.
yeah.
You guys just
Peace,
got to
we need
understand.
a- we need a
But I
talk,
do want
bro.
to thank
Peace.
everybody for coming.
Okay.
TG,
Yeah.
do you want to? I didn't let you talk, so I'll let you.
Yeah, I
do
just
this.
want to say this real quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, what you're trying to get, Peace, you're going to have to put boots on the ground. Also, Trump, you're talking about what Biden should have, blah, 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 blah. Trump literally pulled us out the deal in 2018. He had plenty of time to do and to avoid what he's doing now. He could have tried to go to the table, but he didn't. In 2018, he pulled us out the deal. He kept complaining, and then he lose the election. So, yes, at the end of the day, he should have negotiated simply before kissing Israel ass, which he did. And this is the unfortunate part. He's having regrets because it's not looking good to him in Iran right now with them.
Okay, so Trump pulled us out of the deal in 2018. That's true. He didn't like the way it was set up because it had a sunset, and also didn't address the ballistic missile issue. Trump pulled us out of the deal. We can argue it, but there were still 5 other nations in that deal. They decided, okay, this is our green light to start enriching uranium, and that's what they did. So and then Trump probably thought he was going to win the election in 2020. He didn't. There's no deal in place that the U.S. is involved in. Iran's doing some fuck shit. We know they started enriching, and there's proof of that. If you just read about it, you can see how they failed the inspections afterwards, not before he pulled out, but afterwards. And Biden had 4 years. You know what Biden said with it? They tried to negotiate with them, and they didn't have success, and they said just don't.